Moving into Sclimzition. Sclimbing commencing. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up, everyone? My name is Sclimbo from Socks Agency, certified self-improvement VTuber. Definitely Asia today, as you can see. Very, very Asian background today in the location. The street continues. Hey, Bogo. What's going on? Yeah, we're Birmingham today. No, clearly it's a quaint back town, you know, as you say. A quaint back town. Hey, what's up, Kaineed? What's going on? Hey, welcome in, everybody. Happy Thursday. I missed you. I kind of missed you big time. You know, we took like 4 days off to go on the trip, and then I was tired from the trip, so I took Tuesday off, and we just had the collab with Daya. So I did stream on Tuesday, but it feels like it's been 2 days. If you think about it, I think we only have one stream on this channel in a week. Yeah. Because even though we were doing a lot of collabs and stuff, the last stream on this channel was Monday, and then before that was Wednesday. So I think it's like the longest. Oni Bro says, I want you dead, Sclimbo VTuber male. You're welcome to try. If you'd like to engage in a game of combat with me, you are welcome to try, right? Give me something to look forward to. Give me something exciting. Excite the humors. You know, I'm always saying I want goons to come after me, so let's go. Sclimbo, when is, yeah, this is Venezuela. I do want goons attacking me, so that could be we could do that. Seems like a good time. Seems like a blast, honestly. But only if we can do it in like, I don't know, like an American Ninja Warrior course or something like that. That could be pretty good. But hi, everyone. I'm really happy to see you today. I'm actually having a great day. I've recovered. My bug bites are still there from the woods. Oh, hey, Vamp. And we're thirsting it.
Because I enjoy it.
It's so true, and it is just one of those days. But my bug bites are still here. However, I have rested. I've eaten. I'm back in my routine. I've been working out. Do I know anything about a shower horse? I deny any knowledge of a shower horse. I cannot confirm nor deny any information about a shower horse. No information. Oni Bro says, I'm happy to see you when you're dead. I'm starting to think that Oni Bro might be serious, in which case... But aside from that, if it's just a joke, then funny, but in the not mocking way. Anyway, welcome. Hey, Red Man, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. You don't like the mental image I'm getting out of this context? Yeah, that's fair. Well, all right. We have a lot to do today. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of good things to talk about. So we got some drops that we have to talk about. Obviously, you do see it pinned and stuff like that. But the SVA Cup and Deathmatch are still ongoing. They're doing very well. Very well. We got an update about that. But doing very, very good. So thank you for that, everybody. That's been a banger. And I'm getting mine soon, too. Very exciting. Yeah, it's probably a joke. Wait, are we okay? Listen, I trust your judgment, mods. It said this person had been following since debut, so I don't know, but I trust your judgment. Hopefully it's not actually a joke, because if that's a joke, I would feel bad. But it is what it is. I bought the cup. I still want to file a complaint about you not being in a bunny outfit. You know, I'm getting that a lot. I'm getting a lot of that, to be fair. I'm sorry, nobody asked me if I was going to be in a bunny outfit or not. Would I wear a bunny outfit? Yes, absolutely. I'm very secure in my masculinity. But nobody asked. Sometimes a Sclim might want to be in a bunny suit too. You know, even Flork was in a bunny suit. Yeah, Flork had bazongas too. Flork had bazongas as well. Hey, Wild Pup, welcome. So, yeah, I know it's a crime. Okay, maybe if you believe hard enough. I do want to show off my legs. Plus, I mean, we're always talking about I don't like wearing a lot of clothes, right? So I think it makes sense for me to have a bunny outfit. I think I'd do it well. I think I'd play it up. I think if I was in a bunny outfit, I'd start acting like a rabbit. Like a rabbit, you know? I think I'd start a little bit. It like influence me. I'm very influenceable. So I think the clothing I would wear would influence me, right? It's like if you put me in a suit, I'm gonna start acting hard. But if you put me in like, you know, Fred Durst hat, I might become Fred Durst. I'm very malleable in that way. So, you know, it'd be like that. Let me welcome everybody in. It is Thursday, so of course, we're doing our fitness chat today. We're doing our just chatting. I have written down a lot of topics to talk about today. I got stories from the trip, some crazy stuff that happened, new things to show off, and then we play stuff later. We do fitness questions, bada boom, bada bing. It's a Thursday. That's day number 4. What if we put a dog collar on you? If you can catch me and put a dog collar on me, maybe I'd bark. I don't know, but maybe such a thing could be possible. The chalupas are 0.41 BSU. I mean, to be expected, right? I wouldn't expect much out of the street chalupas from Taco Bell. Shock collar with a GPS chip. I don't know if I'm into. I don't like pain very much, you guys. I don't think I'm into pain. All right. I think like the shock collar portion of that just seems a little rude. You know, you wouldn't shock me, right? You wouldn't shock me. I don't think I like that. That seems painful. I like happy things. That's not very happy. It's not very good. All right, let me welcome everyone in so we can actually talk about whatever we want. I want to get that out of the way because I feel bad unless I say hi to everybody. So let's do that. Hi, everyone. Hi. Let's start at the top. Ooh, a lot of check-ins today. All right, from the beginning, welcome in Amelia, Ayoto, Tyler, Stay Bright, Frost, Ayoto, Tufo, Mint, Double A, Swordfish, Hades, Duck and Dungeon, Surd, A12, Dragon, Morn, Dunton, Bogo, Binka, thank you for the resubs, Lava, and Ayoto, thank you so much for the does subby. Shadow Bendith, welcome. Orpheus, Jinon, Pete, Penbra, thank you for the subby. Chip, welcome in. Dusk, welcome in. Feral, Vamp, Ox, Bogo with the streak, Nindessa, Wafflix, Giddylicious, Mr. Woozer, Mammon's Foot, Vamp, Ox, Durst. Wait, no, it's me. I'm Durst. Giddy, again, with the Durst in it. Woozer, RP, welcome in. Red Menace, thanks for the follow. Mune, Wild Pup, welcome in. And thank you for the streak, Wild Pup. Orcus, Varn, Vencastle, Div, Wiskowser, Smew, and Bengus. That is everybody so far. Welcome in, everybody. Feel my warm embrace around you. Feel my beautiful, like my soft Sclim arms embrace you in a very platonic hug as I welcome you to the stream. Welcome in, everybody. Now, as for the location, where are we today? Where are we today? Well, you guessed, there's an American flag. But specifically, welcome to the cozy neighborhood of Bath, Maine. This is a coastal Maine town, a small town in Maine, which is a very weird state. I've never met anyone from Maine who's normal. Now, people who move there maybe, but anyone from there? There's something there. There's something going on there. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, all 22 people in this town. Very beautiful towns, but you know? Is the rain in Maine nearly plain? It could be. It could be. Thanks for noticing me as always. Don't worry, Dusk, I'll always notice you. And then I do a little curtsy or something, you know? There's a demonic Baltimore, Connecticut. Wait. Oh, not Connecticut, connection. There's a demonic. Wait, Baltimore is demonic? I didn't know that. Tell me more. Yeah, there's a lot of. Stephen King is from Maine. Stephen King is from Maine. There's a lot of that. Let me pay out the points to North America guessers today. Let's see here. There you go. I am not Maine VTuber. Not VTuber Maine. Not true. I mean, to be fair, I did say everyone from there is weird, but I'm not. I wasn't born there, so. I think you had lobster in Maine. Is that a thing? That is a thing. Maine is known for their lobster. Maine is known. They have very famous lobster. Very famous lobster, as they say. Lobster fishermen. Very famous lobster in Maine. Very good lobster in Maine. Freshly caught. You can even get it like a few hours after it's caught. It's really cool. It's really cool. You know, you'd think you'd be landed on this exact street during GeoGuessr, but that could be like any single small town in many New England states. This could have been upstate New York. This could have been Massachusetts. This could have been many places. This could have even been... Actually, probably not. It's probably just those ones, but yeah, the lobster. A little bit of Maine lobster, you know? Lobster. Lob. There's a little bit of a British accent in some areas in Maine. Like hidings of a British accent, maybe, you know, some trinkle down or something like that. Only thing online you've ever seen from Maine are videos of people catching lobsters. Yep, that's about it. No, Maine's an interesting place. It's like it's very fantasy coded. I should show you like a map of Maine or something. It's very fantasy coded location. Like they have the coastal Maine, right? Hey, no, Edu, welcome in. There's like coastal Maine, but then the inner part of Maine is called like, what is it called? It's called like the Grand North or something. There's like a really cool name. Hold on. Inner Maine name, or like the Northeast Kingdom or something like that. Inner Maine name. It's called something really insane. What is it called? Northeast. Is it Northeast Kingdom? Or North Kingdom? It's something like that. Something really sick. Wait, let me find it. Hold on. Yeah, Northeast Kingdom. It's in northeastern Vermont and is in Caledonia, Essex, and Orleans counties. Okay, that's Vermont. Maine has one too. But what a crazy name for like a location. It's called the Northeast Kingdom. It's also just a lot of like, you know, trees. That's the thing. There's like an arc of trees in New England where it's like, all right, yeah, New Hampshire, White Mountains, Vermont, Green Mountains, and then Maine, like most of the state is just this giant arc of forever forest. Like Acadia. Yeah, I've been to Acadia. Acadia is really cool. That's a cool park. Also a cool name. Very fantasy coded, right? Acadia. That's kind of sick. So a lot of cool stuff up there, but I don't know. I mean, listen, I've been to every New England state a lot. It's not my favorite. I'm a Vermont guy. I'm not saying I'm from there, but that's my favorite of them, I would say. Like in New England, I think Vermont's my favorite. But yeah, they're all good. They're all pretty solid. They're all pretty solid, I would say. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. Maine, there's too little in Maine. I like forest, I like mountains and stuff like that. But like the second you cross the border to Maine, it's one of those things where the forests kind of become like, do you know what I mean? They become like, it's like all those jokes about like, oh, forests in North America versus forests in Europe. That's Maine. That's Maine. The woods are evil in Maine. There's some nefarious stuff there. Like you get this sense of dire aura when you go into the woods in Maine. It's like not fun anymore, right? It's like you go to other forests and you're kind of like frolicking around. It's like, whoa, sunny, magical. And then like the forests in Maine just kind of feel like those TikTok edits with the noise where it's like, ooh, ooh. Like they're a little scary. Maine is actually part of the Avalon subcontinent. Wait, what do you mean by that, Ayoto? Avalon was real and Maine's a part of it? That's where King Arthur went. When he died, he went to Maine. That's like that story about Jesus dying in Japan. There's this village in Japan that believes Jesus died there, and the whole idea behind it was like, apparently they're like, oh yeah, Jesus had a brother, he put on the cross instead, and then he went to Japan, and he ended up in like Tohoku somewhere, and he hung out there for a while. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like lore like that. Yeah, North Carolina, Northern California deep woods. Yeah, no, just all of the North woods are like, Minnesota, Oregon, Maine. They're all kind of like terrifying. They're all kind of terrifying. Evil force in Maine. There's a lot of evil force in Maine. Yeah. Hear about Chinese Jesus? No, but I'm also not surprised. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. There's a lot of cool stuff in history with like crossovers and stuff like that. Like I like history a lot. I'll usually listen to a lot of like podcasts in my spare time and stuff. But wait, hold on. Wait, Polly, you just said Iyasu. Are you suggesting that people think that Iyasu is Jesus? I'm gonna freak it. Hey Malfi, what's up Malfi? Thank you for the resub. Hope you're doing good. What's up Malfers? What's going on? There are many haunted places in northern Minnesota. Yeah. I bet. I should get out there, actually. I should really get out there. That could be cool. I've never really been there. To like the peninsulas and stuff like that. Dude, that's real spooky.
Your bit's huge.
Yo, what's up, Command? Thanks for the bits. Welcome in, brother. What's going on? Your good pal's starting a fitness routine. He gave him the Bricken Tech, and he's now making boneless chicken breast Bricken sandwiches. The Bricken is the bread. Yo! So just pure protein sandwich? That's wild. That's wild. I was out with my aunt this morning, and I was getting breakfast with my aunt. That's where my story about the lox bagel came from. Insanely good lox bagel. But my aunt was telling me she's kind of like doing vegetarian, and I was, you know, giving her advice, but I was also like, how can someone related to me go vegetarian? Like I just, that doesn't make sense to me genetically, right? There's a genetic break there between me and my aunt. That's like, you know, one person removed, but how can you not eat a pound of meat every day? That's insane. You know, it's funny because like I think that like morally, I think vegetarians do have a moral high ground, right? Like I think that they're right. They're probably morally better. I'm gonna eat chicken though. Sorry. Yummy. sorry. But they're right. I think they're right. You know, I love when different cultures draw Mary and Jesus in their style. I think like my favorite thing is thinking about like times where different like historical things have met up. Like, here's three big ones that I always think about, right? The big one I always think about is apparently the Holy Roman Empire was still in existence when the US was founded for like an overlap of like 30 years, which is insane. Not obviously the Roman Empire, but the Holy Roman Empire was around when the US was around, which is nuts. That's one. I also really like the idea that, what was it? It was like cowboys and samurai are contemporary. That's another really good one. They're both from Meiji era America. The cowboy were an iterate warrior class from Meiji era America. That's a really good one. I also really like the stories about Roman soldiers in the Far East meeting Chinese soldiers. There was apparently some border skirmishes between like ancient China and Rome, which is so cool. It's like, whoa, how did that happen? That's insane. There were woolly mammoths in the Alaskan islands during the building of the pyramids. Oh my God. That's so cool. That stuff's so cool. There's some really cool history overlaps. Same with pirates. Oh yeah, makes sense. Pirates, samurai, and cowboys have overlap. Yeah, it's like a good D&D campaign setting. I think that was what they were saying about it. Hey, what's Saku? Thank you for the gigantified emote bits. Thank you. What do you got going on over here? You got a big dog or something? What's he looking at? What's he doing? You lived at the same time as Sclimbo? That's true. You all lived at the same time as Sclimbo. That's a really crazy overlap, actually. The Killian Kieran might be based off travelers' accounts of seeing giraffes. That's cool. Ooh. Lincoln could have sent a telegraph to Japan and asked for samurai assistance. He could have. During the Civil War, he could have done that. My favorite artifact from that is, I've tweeted about it before, but it was months ago. There is a document or a book that was written in Japan in the 1800s, and it's a Japanese 1800s era account of the American Revolution, and it is so funny. It's the best book of all time because they're like telling the lore like it's Japanese lore, but it's about the US. So like in the book, George Washington is like 8 foot tall and like fights tigers with a spear. It's so sick. There's photos of like George Washington like pinning down a tiger with a huge spear. It's so cool. That all happened, by the way. That all happened. There's also the Prussian-Russian forces against the Chinese emperor, where the Chinese first experienced star-shaped fortresses and got goofed. I'd get goofed too, to be fair. First time encountering anything, I'd get goofed. I wouldn't be able to figure out shit. I'd be like, oh man, never seen that before. Hey, Atu. Hey, Sage. What's up? Welcome in. You love Shadow Hearts from the New World. Yeah. Damn, callback. Damn. That stuff's all really cool. It's so cool. History is fun. History is fun because it's like lore that happened for real. I know it's like the stupidest sentence I've ever said, but history is like lore, but real. It's really cool. You never encountered anything you couldn't just smash your way through? Well, you haven't encountered a Star Fortress command, to be fair. You haven't encountered a true Star Fortress before, you know? Lore that happened for real? Yeah, Nuna. That's my description of what history is. It's lore that happened for real. If you think about it, the world's actually kind of like a shonen, a battle shonen, if you think about it, right? I would say the world is a little bit like a battle shonen, right? You got factions, you got characters, if they're nations, kind of like Italia, and they have like moving alliances and stuff like that, and there's character arcs, and there's like development arcs, right? Like the Russian Revolution, that was probably like a character arc in the manga. Yeah, it's kind of like a battle shonen. Yeah, history class should be renamed to World Lore Discussion. Italia mentioned! Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Wee-woo! Wee-woo! Chinese fortresses back then were still square, so European madmen came with the star shape. Yeah, imagine seeing shapes for the first time, like a new shape. Imagine seeing a shape you've never seen before. You like didn't have geometry. That's the one. You didn't have geometry in school, and you see a star for the first time. You're like, oh, what is that? What is the opening for Earth Shonen? What's a good opening theme for Earth as a battle shonen? What do you think? You think we got a good one? Yeah, I know Italia mentioning is going to activate half of chat. Of course I know that. You don't think I know you? Gotta be by Asian Kung Fu generation. Yeah, I think it might be. I'd like to see Naruto ship it an OP16 silhouette by Kanabun as the world opening. I think that makes sense. It's like how in that you have like Naruto running through the ages, but you have history. I think it'd be really cool. 5-pointed star knowers cannot comprehend it. Yeah, seeing a new shape. Be freaking it. Naruto has a new TCG just revealed. Ooh, that's cool. I don't really mess with like TCGs these days, especially non-Pokemon ones, but that is pretty cool. There's also that weird Naruto mobile game that's coming out that has like crazy cutscenes. Hey, Leafy, welcome. I don't know what that's about. Haven't really figured that one out, but that's happening too. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. Speaking of stuff going on, insane segue. Let me show you something. We got a new sponsor, and it's exactly the sponsor that gamers love. It's every gamer's favorite sponsor of all time. Are you ready? It's soap! It's soap! It's soap! You gotta clean yourself! All right, everybody. This is not a sponsored stream, but SVA is now working with Cheeky for soap. That's right. Clean up using code VTuber Mail. Get some soap. Go get some Cheeky soap. This stuff rocks. Yeah. Yeah, the Charlie soap. Yeah, the Charlie soap. Clean. You know, I will say, unironically, this soap is nuts. I've been using it for like a month and a half, right? Because we got like samples and stuff, right? Before the sponsorship. And I think Malfi and Addy actually had the exact same experience. No, this was not the horse. The horse is different. I mean, the horse isn't real. Don't worry about the horse. It's different, but it's not real. Don't worry about it. But honestly, when we got these packages in, I think Malfi and Addy said this as well. The package was so fragrant that it like permeated the box. Like, you know, there's a lot of floral scents. Like, I'm a big lavender guy, right? And so I had the box come in and I put it in my room and I went out before opening it. And when I came back, my room smelled like floral, like blast. Yeah, the packaging's strong, but the soap isn't overbearing. Yeah, but it's like the blast hit me out, like outside the box. I was like, oh my God, it smells really good, but it's powerful. It's powerful. It's not overpowering though. I agree with you, but it's really nice. Good soap. To be fair though, I haven't had much soap, but it's probably the best soap that I've messed with. But I also am not known, like I'm not a soap expert, but I like it. It's good. So hey, use code VTuber Mail. We got Cheeky now. We got the Cheeky situation. You once called Naruto Shippuden Naruto's shit poo, and you made a guy crash out and get banned. Imagine being that guy sitting in bed 20 years later and you wake up in a sweat and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that guy tilted me and spiked my stress by saying Naruto toots shit pooing. I can't believe I got banned. And like, it's like you're gonna be thinking about that one 20 years later. You're gonna be like, man, that was embarrassing. That was a low. That was a big low. But you know what's not a low? Cheeky soap. Use code VTuber Mail. Yeah, there you go. also, Naruto's shit pooing kind of got me. I think that sort of really bad humor kind of wraps around to being funny again in my mind. Where it's like, it's so dumb, but I'm kind of like, yeah, got him. Once you run out of your Ren Fair soap, you'll get Cheeky? Hell yeah, Command. No, it's good stuff. You started using it like 3 weeks ago. Gamer Gunk and Schmelin. Hey, yeah, Wiscouser. No, the lavender one's my favorite so far. I mean, I'm still using it, so I haven't used a lot of the others because I'm still just am using my first bar. You know, they last a while, so. What if the horse soap is a gotcha? No, the horse soap is something else. Don't worry about it. Flork's always up to something, you know? He's always up to no good. And this time you just wake up and you see Soap Horse. You know? What can you do? You just move on with your life. You have no really other choice. You know? Going to bar soap over liquid is the biggest power move. Honestly, it's so much better. I don't know like what the lore is here, but like liquid soap lasts, I don't know, 2 minutes. And then you get 1 bar of soap and it lasts like a year. It's crazy. It's so price efficient. It's actually nuts. You've been using that soap for a bit, so nice. Gotta use code VTuber Mail. Double A, you gotta. I will too when I have to order more. I'll use my own code. I'm not above it. Keep thinking I'm not into crass humor. My coworker told me about a bird called a bush tit and it floored me. Yeah, that stuff really does get me. No, it's good. It's good. Like one of my favorite videos of all time. I think we talked about it on stream last week. It's the ghost orb video with the guy farting on the door. Do you know the one I'm talking about? It's like the joke, like ghost, like, did you see it? On the left side of the screen, barely perceivable by the human eye. And it's like a ghost orb, right? But while that's going on, there's a guy in the background just absolutely gassing on this guy's door really loudly. And it keeps increasing in volume. Yeah. That's one of the funniest videos of all time. There's also the one of the bad to the bone riff. There's like the shifter. It's honestly just a video that's like 10 minutes of no, I can't watch it. I'll put it in Discord, but I don't want to watch it live, okay? So I'll cry laughing. But there's also the one of it's just like a 10-minute video of like bad to the bone skull shifters for cars. And it's just the bad to the bone riff every once in a while randomly interrupted by a fart noise. So it'll be like banana. And it's just like, it's very dumb. It's very random, but I can't keep a straight face through the whole video because it just starts layering and stuff like that, coming at inopportune times. No, that stuff gets me really good. Like, if you want to get me in a you laugh, you lose, you got to hit me with stuff like that, and also stuff that happens in one frame, right? Like, any humor that happens within one frame of a video, like a really fast cut, it really, really gets me too. I know you really want to watch it. I know you really do, but I'll put it in Discord later. We can have somebody put it in Discord. You just opened the site and got blasted with queso soap bar. Yeah, I need to work on my landing page. I don't really have one yet. I need to update that. But yeah. Oh yeah, the grandma with the foreshadowing Pepsi. Not again. That's my favorite one. That's my favorite one. I need you to watch this. It's the account of a rabbit puppet dancing really accurately and salaciously to music. All right, hold on. Wait, hold on. This is a Blue Sky. Can I even open Blue Sky? Hold on. I don't have a Blue Sky. Can I like view things on Blue Sky? All right, yeah, hold on. We got a good video here, it looks like. Oh shit, hold on. Let's pull this up. This is important looking. This video looks pretty important. Is the soap very perfumey? I mean, it has a scent to it. It's definitely scented. I'm not sure if there's unscented. I should have looked into that. You could look to see if there's unscented. But it does have a scent. Yeah, it's smelly soap, but like in a good way. Yo, it is just one of those days. Wait, let's take a look at this really quick. Important looking video. Seems pretty important. Pull this one up. Take a look. I like reviewing like videos very seriously, where it's like, hold on, we have a pressing announcement coming in. Let's take a look. Yep. Important bunny. Oh, hell yeah. It's just one of those days. This is me in the morning. Yeah, Duntham's bunny. Okay, this just unfortunately reminds me. This just reminds me of a video. Every time I hear break stuff, I, for one, think of the Mint karaoke, but then I also think of this other video. Just look up Gay Limp Bizkit. If you know that video. It's just lyric swap. It's just lyric swap, but it kills me. Oh no, it's such a good video. What I'm trying to think of like some of the more safe for work lines in it. Yeah, where it's like I think you better quit kissing these lips. Wait, Aldi's giving away blind boxes with protein? Nice. I think you better quit kissing these lips. It's just one of those days. It's so good. That's what I mean by stupid humor. Like really dumb stuff. But all these free protein sounds good. No, the actual lyrics are incredible because they're just so like, oh my god. They're so upfront. Oh man. Yeah, but okay, so we have, let's see here. Let's go ahead and get the marshmallow, if you could, Mint. Let's swap to pin the marshmallow for a bit, because it is fitness question day. So as always, if you have any questions about fitness or nutrition, you can go ahead and put them in there. I'm going to wait for a few to accrue, because I do have a lot of topics I want to talk about. I want to talk about trip stories, I want to talk about some other stuff I've been thinking about, just some cool thoughts. You know, lines of conversation. Is it break stuff by Limp Bizkit? No, this is gay stuff by Suck Disket. Yeah, pretty much. I think it's like that. But yeah, if you want, you can follow that link to the marshmallow and you can answer or ask. I will answer anonymous questions and we'll answer fitness and nutrition stuff here. But while we accrue some of those, let's yap about stuff. Hey, Proj, what's chilling? What's happening? What's going on? So, sorry, I've been looking for a new soap since Squatch sold out. Oh yeah, go into it. Go into it, Leafy. Get in there. Use the cheeky. So, I went on a trip. I talked a little bit about it on Monday, but I kept saying I was going to save stuff, save information, save lore for today, because it's our Just Chatting stream. And while we wait for marshmallows to come in, boy, do I have some stories. So here's the setup. Here's the situation. Obviously, I've been a very busy Sclim with VTubing work. And, you know, normally I go with my friends, about 15 of us, on a trip every winter. Well, we also decided this year to go every summer. So we had a June trip. Obviously, because I was busy, I kind of just quickly looked at the pictures of the place we booked. We all split it, and it looked a little bit like a, you know, cabin and stuff. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. It's a, you know, it's a cabin, but I'm sure it has like amenities and stuff like that. It's fine. and didn't do my research, didn't look at reviews or anything like that. So we get there after a very long trip, incredibly long trip, and I realized very quickly that we do not have air conditioning. We do not have water we can drink because the water there is not good to drink. We don't have there. It turned out there was hot water, but I was not able to really use it, or I didn't really use it because the showers were also filled with spiders. There were also the spider showers. So yeah, I found out also that we didn't have enough beds. There weren't enough beds. Yeah, non-potable, that's the word for it. And unfortunately, there were only like, I think 12 or 13 beds, and there were like 16 of us. So unfortunately for me, I happened to bring my camping pad, but I didn't bring my tent because I was like, I won't need a tent. We're going to a house, right? But because I had my camping pad, I did have something to sleep on, which resulted with me sleeping in the truck. So we had a really big truck that could fit like, we have an excursion basically. One of the friends in the group has an excursion, which I think is like in the US, like the biggest non-commercial truck they've ever made. It has enough seats for 8 people. Dude, it might be 8 or 10, huge. I forget. Hey, Command, thank you for the 1K bits. Thank you so much. I won't need a tent. Word said by somebody who definitely will need a tent. Yeah, I wish I had one. I really wish I had a tent. Oh God, I went out to look for a tent too, and I couldn't find one. Oh God, it had to be so freaking hot in there. Yeah, here's the best part. Despite going as far north as we could, where we were within like maybe 30 minutes of the Canadian border, right? Despite going as far north as we could, it was 90 degrees out. It was 90 the whole time. You know who really, really likes the heat? Not me. You know who loves direct sunlight? Not me. Oh man. Oh man. What if you put a nice tent on throughout? No, I have a tent. I just didn't bring it. I'm dumb. I was like, I don't need it. I wouldn't need it, right? So the situation is as it stands, right? I'm sleeping in a truck. I have my camping pad. The windows have to be down because it's too hot. No AC, eaten alive by bugs, showering with a hose. Cold water hose outside before everyone else woke up. So yeah, it wasn't very restful. It wasn't a very restful trip. I was very tired coming back from that and full of bug bites. You know who gets sunburn easily? Me. Yeah, I should clarify. You know, I love being outside. I love it. Big fan of being outside. Hate the sun. I like the forest. You guys know this. I like mountains. Why? There's shade. Don't like direct sunlight. I've never been someone to go to the beach. I never liked going to the beach. And I wasn't ever really a big fan of just hanging out. I like doing stuff on trips, so I'm not like a huge fan of just like, oh, the trip where you go to a beach and sit for a week. That sounds like hell to me, right? Yeah, 6 feet apart because we're not gay. Oh, no, it was a little, there was some closeness. You could say. A lot of boy teamwork, you could say. All I can see is Sclim in the truck with the windows down inside, and it says he's okay. He has his water and protein. Yeah, except for when I got eaten alive by bugs. It's really bad. My legs are so messed up right now. I have like actually countable over 100 bug bites on me. It's really bad. I'm surprised I didn't get a disease. I did learn something though. I think I might have a sun allergy, and I think that might explain why I don't like the sun. Because for me, it's always baffled me, right? Like when I see people being outside and enjoying it when it's like 90 degrees out, I'm like, how can you enjoy that? That feels like you're being boiled alive. Like I love being outside, but it feels like you're being boiled alive. Like the sun's burning me. I'm so uncomfortable when I'm in the sun, right? And when I was a kid, when I was just a little Sclim, I used to get heat rashes a lot from being outside. That's just being white. You would think so, but so are they, Mouthy. So is everybody else. And I've always tolerated the sun less. Like even as a kid, I was talking to my parents about this recently after I came back, and they would always be like, yeah, no, you wanted to stay out of the sun. You hated the sun. You hated it, right? And I noticed that since I've been an adult, I tend to, not go to the beach, not go directly in the sun for too long during midday. Well, I was outside, had no choice to, right? When I was in the sun, when it was like 90 out, the only thing I can describe this as is my blood was itchy. Does that mean anything to anyone? Hey, what's up, Philippines? My blood was itchy. It's the only way I could describe it. When I was really, really hot and walking around, because I wanted to like go for a little walk, right? It was like, I didn't have a rash, but the inside of my veins felt itchy. when I was in direct sunlight. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I have a sun allergy, actually. Maybe that would explain why I really hate it. It was not great. Not great. So yeah, I become miserable when it's too hot out. I'm like lazy. I'm like angry. Not like angry, but I'm just like low energy. I'm like, I don't want to do anything. So yeah, I was a bit lazy. No hives. Yeah, there were no hives or anything like that. It wasn't hives or anything. It was just like the inside of my blood felt itchy. That's like the best way I can describe it. Kind of crazy. Gumpy, a little gumpy. Vitamin D or light heat sensitivity? No, because my vitamin D levels are perf because I'm outside a lot. I just, I accrue it slowly, right? I don't go outside when the sun's like peak and it's like 90 degrees out, but I'll go outside earlier in the morning before it gets too hot, and you're still getting vitamin D production at that point. Because, you know, the UV index is still high. You're just not in the direct hot sunlight. Yeah, maybe I'm a vampire. I don't know. No, because like I do love being outside during the day. It's just, you know, mornings and evenings. So yeah, all that was going on. But honestly, yeah, no, it was kind of rough. Like I don't drink, right? So I couldn't do anything really but snack and hang out. And there was like, you know, I could go in the water obviously and I could fish, but I didn't want to be out for too long because of how hot it was. So I only went in the water like a couple times. Like one time my friends had this really dumb idea where we found an old metal boat that could fit like 10 people. So they decided they were just going to row out on this really big lake and see what happens. And they ended up like rowing like a mile out, like pretty damn far. And something happened and they decided they didn't want to row back, or they couldn't, or something. So they ended up all getting in the water and trying to tow the boat back a mile by swimming. And by the end of it, like clearly when we realized this was happening, because I was still on land, they were, you know, closer, but they looked like they were getting kind of gassed out there. So I swam out to meet them and help them bring it back, right? Like I you know, ripped my clothes off and dove in and swam out, you know, like into the, like not halfway, but pretty far out to help bring them back. So I went in the water then, obviously, and I did a lot of fishing and stuff, but just dudes being dudes. Yeah, they found a boat and started using it. I found a lot of boats for them. There's a Filipino dish with pig blood in it if you ever find yourself with craving. Oh, if I want blood. Okay, cool. Showing the Sclim goods for free. Yeah, you know it. It's got to be like that sometime. But yeah, no, so van life and hose life. Now, I actually kind of silver lining thought it'd be cool to sleep in the van or in the truck more, because it's kind of like van life that I've always wanted to do. And I did think like silver lining, I'm kind of acclimating to that, which was nice. Only problem was there was no mosquito like net right on the windows. So I was just getting eaten. Things could just come in. Didn't get woken up to any monsters though. No monsters appeared at my window. No aliens appeared at my window. I was there during disclosure day, but no aliens showed up. So we were good there at least, you know? Yeah, grippers out in the open. I was like naked too. Well, I was in my underwear, but you know, it was so hot that I was just kind of like splayed there in my underwear, like help. And so they were ready to eat me alive. They were very ready. Yeah, that I know of. They might've been looking at me at 3 a.m. Who knows? But this was also, so I'm not a sports guy, but something crazy did happen where I guess this was the Knicks game. We were there one of the days when the Knicks game happened, right? The big game that everyone was hyped up. I learned a little bit about it by association, because my friends have started getting into sports and unfortunately sports betting. But they did do a crazy pull where right before the game, all of my friends went on DraftKings and they did a 3-way parlay on the game where they bet 3 different things would happen. Hey, Burrs, welcome in. So I forgot what the bets were, but they bet basically a series of 3 different things. And to get paid out, they all had to happen. It was something like, oh, at this point in the game, these people are going to have this many points and they'll be losing, and then they'll come back later and this guy's going to score an X number of points. They got all of them. It was nuts. It was insane. They pulled like a 3-way parlay, 100% guessed correctly on all of them, and made like a buttload of money right in front of me. And I was like, damn. I mean, I don't want to sports gamble, but I should have probably gotten in on that with hindsight. Yeah, actual luck. No, they went in. I think it was like they put in 20 and each pulled out 140 or something. It was crazy. It was like a 14 times or like 7 times jump or something like that. Yeah, it was crazy. I was just like, come on, sports betting's dumb. And it is dumb. Like, I'm not going to bet on stuff. I don't want to be part of a gambling-based economy, except for gotcha. That's a different story. But yeah, I was like, hey, I mean, that's kind of crazy. You called 3 different things and were right. And all my friend kept saying, it was actually pretty mysterious, because all my friend kept saying is he read the script. He was like, no, trust me, I read the script. I know what's going to go down. I've seen it. I've read the script. And he was right. He was right. The script was read. Don't bet on sports, that's crap. Gamble on a real game like Mahjong. Yeah, gamble on Mahjong. Gamble on Mahjong. My mom told me she was learning Mahjong recently. And I was like, hey, careful. That's detrimental to the human spirit. But yeah. No, so it used to be illegal to bet on things, I think. But see, the US is becoming a gambling-based economy where everything is held up by DraftKings. So yeah, no, you could just install it on your phone now. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. You know, it's a DraftKings-based economy. And a Kalshi bet-based economy, you see. Polymarket-based economy. Yeah, so... Oh. There was one day, though, because we had a lot of good food. We had a couple chefs there with us. Some of our friends were chefs, right? And they wanted to cook it up real crazy. So there was one day where we had 5 different meats within like a 6-hour period. It was rabbit, deer, and both of those were hunted by one of our friends. And then it was fresh lobster, a prime rib, a whole prime rib, and grilled chicken. It was really nice. Really nice. Yeah, it was my first time having rabbit. I've had deer before, but that was my first time having rabbit, really. Yeah, the chefs really cooked it up. It was awesome. The prediction market and AI-based economy is so true. No bricking. Yeah, no bricking this time. No bricking this time. But it was just some good grilled chicken, you know? The prime rib was crazy, though. That was insane. It was also like $10 million. But the nice thing about trips like these is if you split everything 15 ways, it doesn't matter. Like the prime rib, I think like we spent $500 on food for the weekend for everybody to cook. But, you know, you split that up, it's only like $38 per person for the whole weekend. So I was like, yeah, it's a pretty efficient price, right? You go out to eat once at a convention, you're going to spend that much money. So, not bad. Brickin'? I mean, kind of. It was just pure rabbit. Yeah, very boy dinner. But there was a lot of stuff too, right? There's snacks and sides and stuff like that. Everyone was cooking up a storm. You never eat rabbit. Ethics aside, they're trash protein. They have the condition rabbit starvation. Yeah, you know, I've never actually looked into what causes rabbit starvation. I've always heard about it, but like, is it the fact that the protein is bad, or is the fact that it's pure protein and you can't survive off it alone? You know, like there's no fat on it and it's a lack of fats. That's what I thought. So, I mean, if you just supplement with other stuff, it's fine. But yeah, pure protein, too lean. Oh no, oh, my meat's too lean. I'd hate that. No, I'm actually so down for that, actually. That sounds great for me. That sounds awesome. Yeah, just have something else alongside of it. Sounds awesome, sounds great. Oh no, my meat, it's too low calorie and lean. Oh no, just what I hate. Yeah. So that was going on. Reminded me of another thing too. Very specific experience, but I'm sure this is relatable to a lot of people. You know that specific feeling of driving somewhere on a long trip during the midday and it being like the most tiring thing of all time? There's something very specific about being in a car at like 2 or 3 p.m. that's just like burning you alive. You're like, like you want to sleep. You just feel bad. You know what I mean? You ever run into that specific one? Hey, what's up, lovely? What's going on? I don't know if you remember me, but I haven't been on Twitch for months. I'm back to see you first in my feed with the glorious pose. Good to see you again. Hey, good to see you again, lovely. Thanks for coming by. Hope you've been good the last few months. Driving in my car right after a rabbit. Hey, that bump looks just like a protein. Yeah, it's just like you've never slept. Okay, that's fair, my Codius. You've never slept once even, so you wouldn't know what it feels like. Yeah, well, for like a fungi like you, I could see that being real. But yeah, there's something specific about like the midday sun when you're in a car that's just kind of like, ow, ouch, you know? Yeah, it just burns you. Not even like a heat thing, it just tires you out. You feel gross. But yeah. Other than that, I know we're talking about sports in a rare situation, but I have really been enjoying the World Cup. I have really been enjoying the World Cup, people being around. Because, like, you know, I've been driving around recently on this trip. We've passed through many places. And, you know, it's really cool seeing all the Scottish people in Boston, right? You know, like I've said before, not necessarily living around there now, but I was born right outside of Boston. And it's really cool on social media and stuff like that, seeing all of the Scots people in Boston and just like partying it up. They're like realizing like, oh shit, Boston's a fun city, and they're partying and everyone's having a great time. Yeah. Park the car in Harvard Yard. Yeah, you gotta. It's Harvard Yard, by the way, not Harbor Yard. It's Harvard Yard. Common mistake. Common mistake. But it's really cool seeing that. I'm honestly, I'm such a big fan. I wish they didn't have to go, because it's so cool seeing all this stuff on social media. And honestly, it's like even beyond that too. Like, because it's such a big game, there are people throughout all of New England. Like, I've seen people too. I've been like nearby and like walking around and stuff and see people with Scottish jerseys on. And you can tell, even beyond that, you can tell that they're from Europe because they're trying to walk down the strip malls. They're trying to walk down the roads, the strip mall roads, actually on the sidewalk. And if you know anything about the US, you would never do that. That's not something any real person does in the United States. So, you know, you see someone trying to walk on a sidewalk, you're like, that's a European. That's a European right there. Oh yeah. No, you see, you're not supposed to use those. You're supposed to get in your gas guzzler that gets 10 miles per gallon is what you're supposed to do, you see. So very common to find them. Very easy way to find them and spot them. You need a car to get there. Putting traffic cones on statues, got to make it homely. Yeah, the Japanese fans try and barbecue. It's really cool. No, I'm happy seeing all the Europeans come over and experience like the fun parts of America. Because while it is true that, like, you know, people shit on each other a lot, it's also true that it's like, yeah, no, we could put on a good show and we have a lot of good food, right? We have big stuff. Our stuff is big, it's loud, and we have a lot of variety. So yeah, going to Costco for the first time probably would be a pretty crazy experience. I mean, I remember when I went to Italy for the first time and went into a grocery store, and I remember at the time there was an entire aisle for Nutella and Nutella products, right? That was something that really took me out of my element. I was like, whoa, holy shit. So I think it's cool. Right? Like, I love travel. So I love seeing other people travel too and get to experience new parts of the world and surprise themselves, right? Because the best way to know something is to go there yourself. So love to see it. Big fan of that. Very happy. Sad it has to go away because it's kind of a cool, like, cultural moment, you know? Kind of radical, kind of sick, kind of really sick, but yeah, so that's been going on, and still more games to come. Let me do a little stretch and drink here. I do see some marshmallows coming in. Let me see how many we got right now, because I might wait a little longer before we hit them. Let's see how many. I know one was put in a couple days ago. I got a good answer for that one. Yeah, you find the American aisle. True. Let me take a drink. And that's the thing too. I feel like the American aisle in Europe is always like American junk food, right? But that's not the only food we have. And that's probably one of the big misconceptions. It's like what I said on Monday during Pokemon, where it's like, no. The idea is the US has variety. So there's a lot of junk food. There's a lot of really bad stuff for you. But we do have access to like anything, any type of food. I would say that if somebody challenged me to find a cuisine within an hour of me, I could do it. I think that if I was like, all right, somebody was like, all right, find this nation's cuisine within an hour of you, I think I'd be able to do it every single time. I don't think there's any cuisine that wouldn't apply to. I could find a way. You know? I've heard that Italians are struggling with an epidemic of kids always ordering American pizza, which is just their pizza with hamburger and french fries. Hey, listen, I think we should annex poutine. That's my big one. That's my big push. I think we should annex poutine. That feels like an American food. So I don't know if the Canadians should have it anymore. The children do yearn for burger. They do. He tries it. I didn't try a deep fried Mars bar when I was in Scotland. Although I did try haggis, and I really like haggis. I would like it to be in the US as well. I think it's banned though. I think we actually can't have haggis. But I did really like it. It was kind of good. It's disco fries? Okay, got it. I don't think we need to deep fry more things though. I think we're good there, Amelia. We're all set. No need. We're chilling. No need to deep fry anything else. We're all good there. Oh, haggis is banned? That's so weird. It must be like a sanitary thing, which is bizarre, right? Because you'd think like if the US is banning a food, right? Deep fry everything. Yeah, like with what the US allows to be put in its food, and then the US is banning something, it's like, why? You can't have the traditional version, but you can have the one that doesn't include sheep's lungs. But what if I want them? What if I want the yummy lungs? You know? Because of the sheep lungs. My parents came from a region with a dish called raw burger. It's an all-meat dish that's cured, not cooked. I mean, it's cured. It's good. US also banned Kinder eggs. Yeah. We don't know. We don't have people knowledgeable about cleaning sheep lung. Well, why don't we go ahead and import some Scottish people and they can take care of that for us, right? Make some jobs. It's all about job creation. That sort of thing. Pretty important. Other than that, let's see. I had a great, great last couple days. I'm back in my routine. Been walking around in the morning, and I realized something. I always like thinking about this. It's one of my fun periods of the year. I think it's summer break. I think that's probably just started for a lot of people in the US, which is always really cool. I don't know. Whenever I see summer break, I start to think about like nostalgia, right? And like having summers off in the past when you're a kid and stuff like that, and being like, oh man, a bunch of people are having that adventure right now. Like a bunch of kids right now are like going on their summer adventures, and they're going on their like character growth arcs and stuff like that. And I think back to like me doing that, and I was like, oh, that's cool. That's always fun. That's always fun. The Sclimbo morning routine, 4 a.m. wake up, 4:25 lurk the woods. Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. A little later than that, but it depends on the point in the season, basically. But like, ooh, I get a good feeling. Like it's a fun feeling to be like, oh yeah, like school's out for a lot of people. They're probably going on adventures and stuff like that, which is really fun. I also like to think about like, it always gets me thinking about school when I was in school, and I kind of miss it. I think one thing that was really nice about being in school when you're younger, and this goes for college as well, there's a very clear progression that I feel like I miss. Like the thing I really miss, and maybe, let's see, do any of you guys kind of feel this way as well? I miss the progression of it. Like the very clear progression of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, sandwich after the pool hit back in the day. Hey, Mumpky, what's going on? It did hit back in the day. And then you have those like, everything was strategic arrow. No, I'm joking. But I don't know. It's just like, I like the progression of it. It felt, don't make fun of me, it felt very much like anime arcs when I was a kid, right? Because it'd be like, all right, you're in school with your friends, you're doing your thing. Maybe you're, I don't know, in 6th or 7th grade, and you get your summer, right? You get to summer, and it's like, okay, everyone's going off. You'll probably hang out with your friends, but a lot of people are going to go to camp. A lot of people might go away to summer homes or something. So there's like a 3-month or 2.5-month arc where you have like a development arc of your own, right? Like a training arc almost. And then you go back to school in the fall, right? And you're a kid too, so you grow fast. So people are changing their hairstyles. They're getting like inches taller. It's like legitimate like time skip arc, right? And then you go back to school, and you're going to be with new people. You're meeting new people. There's new like classrooms, so you're with different friends. And it's just like, ooh, like that progression of the year. I really miss it. That was perfect. Hey, Vex, thanks for the streak. What's up, Vex? You're describing the high school debut Shunibyo emergence. I know, but it's so true. I miss it so much, actually. I really miss that sort of cadence to the year where you have like you're working, you're doing adventures with all your friends, you're all close together and stuff like that. And then you like go off during summer to all have your own development arcs. And then you come back for a new school year. And it was always like, you always had stuff to look forward to, right? Like it was always like the new arc is coming, right? There's something ahead to look forward to, right? When you're in school, you're looking forward to summer. When you're in summer, you might not be looking forward necessarily to the start of school again, but just like, the idea of new friends, new encounters, new adventures, growing up, it's kind of exciting. And then that just goes and goes and goes and goes. And then you're out of college, and then you're like, oh shit, now I have the rest of my life ahead of me. And it's like an unending arcless void, it feels like. And I'm like, damn. It sucks because like you get raised for this scenario where you're having these like yearly progressions and yearly like waves, and then it just stops being that. And you're like, oh, I want that again. I really missed it. The only time that happened for you was when you changed schools. You time skipped some people I knew in high school last summer. They didn't recognize me. Oh, the last summer of high school. Yeah, they all asked me who I was. Yeah. You guys classes change who's there? Yeah, so, that might not be for everybody, but in the US, you kind of change in many schools your classroom every year. So you're going to be with new people, and you might be with your friends. They're going to be in the same school, but you might be in a class with your friends, or you might only have some classes with your friends, different classes, you meet new people and stuff like that. It really felt like an anime. And I super miss that. I wish there was a way to like do that in the workplace too, because that rocked so much. Sometimes you'll have the friend that would just completely disappear during the summer, and years later you see them again. Yeah, like they went to a different school, then came back or something. Kind of had that in COVID. You grew out your hair. People you hadn't seen in years were shocked. Yeah. I don't know. I do miss the ebb and flow. You know, I miss very much because I was always looking forward to the next thing. I was very like, oh, what's next? What's next? What's next? So it was always cool being like, okay, I'm in 8th grade and I'm going to go to high school next year. And then after that, it's 10th grade, then 11th grade, then 12th grade, then college. And then you have this like very linear progression, right? The expectations are clear. That's probably a thing for people too, who are like, you know, any neurodivergent people, right? Probably appreciate like clear expectations of like, I'm going to 8th grade and then I'm going to 9th grade and then it's high school and, you know, that sort of thing. But then it just goes away. Then you do eventually just get to a point where it's like, all right, good luck. Bye. The even flow. Yeah. Switching job roles does that, but you lose all your work friends. Yeah, you do. You do. It's also a different dynamic, right? You can't like mess around as much, you know? The adult equivalent is traveling. That's why I like to travel. That's one of the reasons why I like to travel so much, because like the adult equivalent is like going to hostels and like going to different countries and stuff like that and progressing that way. I agree. Heidi ho, I'm back. I haven't seen you since you left for the buddy trip. How are the ticks? No ticks, but many bug bites. Hey Hamlet, welcome. Yeah, I've just been thinking about that. I always get nostalgic. The like 2 times of year that really hit me are when I realize that the kids have left school and when kids are going back to school. Because I also used to be a teacher, right? So I think about that a lot. I think about that like progression where it's like, oh, this would have been when school was starting. And both of those times get me really nostalgic. And I'm pretty sure like this week or around this week is when a lot of people in the US are starting summer vacation. So I always get this really nostalgic feeling of like, oh man, like remembering the start of summer when I was younger and then remembering also going back to school when I was younger. Were you a PE teacher? I mean, I did teach PE at times, but I taught elementary school students. So I was kind of an everything teacher. Because in elementary school where I am, we don't do individualized classes for subjects. We do one teacher for the whole class. So I would do like, I did not just teacher work though. I also did like after school program stuff and like camp stuff and stuff like that. But yeah, I did at times teach PE, but it was an everything, you know, situation. My specialty though was social studies. So history and stuff like that. But yeah. June this time, everyone around here should be on summer vacay. Yeah. Elementary school teachers are the GOAT. They're good if they're good, you know? They're good if they're good. I really enjoyed teaching elementary school. That was really fun. But the thing I liked about it was the kids in elementary school aren't like... This sounds bad, but they're not like depressed yet. They're not like beaten down by the world yet. So they still have like cool dreams and stuff, right? They haven't let the world crush them. So they have crazy ambitions and they're like, I want to be in the Olympics. I want to be an astronaut. And I'm like, yeah, I love that. So I liked it. I liked it a lot. The only reason I didn't do it, I stopped doing it, honestly, was it does ask a lot of you for the money, right? You end up doing like 60-hour weeks for lower pay. And I don't mind because you get the whole summer off. But the big thing for me was just like, it's hard for me to be who I want to be and also be a teacher because I'm also living in the community, right? And there's certain expectations on teachers if they're living in the community. But for me, somebody who likes being in like a tank top and shorts and running around the woods and stuff like that, it just ended up feeling a little weird. And I didn't like the vibes of that and being like, oh, I have to like appear professional in public. I don't want to appear professional in public. That's not fun. So I was like, yeah, I'm good. Hey, what's up, Avio? What's going on the YouTube side? You had leg day earlier this week, and as I shuffle forwards today, legs a Sclimbo. I'm wondering if you have any advice for reducing the pain. Get your protein, hydrate, stretch, and rest if you're just talking about Dom's pain. That'll be what'll do it. Let you get your steps in? Yeah, I did get good steps over the trip, though. The most memorable teacher I had was named Mr. Grumbles. I had a substitute teacher who became our real teacher, and he taught English. And he was a Gulf War helicopter pilot. He was insane. He had definitely gone crazy, but like in a fun way. I loved him. Oh, he was the best. This was in early high school, and he was the best. He taught me a lot of like to think about things differently. Like he probably was very instrumental in like helping me like think outside the box and do weird stuff, you know, where he'd just be like, oh, you know, you don't have to do things normal ways. And I was like, what? You know? When's the Sclimbo summer swim calendar dropping? Who knows? Stretch, but adductors in particular still hurt. Yeah, you push them the most. Yeah, you just kind of got to do all those things, Avail, especially with the adductors and abductors. It's like once you train those after not training them for a while, you're just not walking proper for a little bit. It's going to be bad. You don't want to be professional at all. I mean, I don't mind being professional. Obviously, you should be professional in front of like, you know, other teachers and students and stuff like that. But I don't want to have to be professional off the job is the difference, right? That's why I love what I do now, because I can be me all the time. Anytime I'm not sclimbing is like a mental strain on me, right? Like anytime I'm not bouncing around the walls and jumping out of my seat and yipping all over the place and having to like control myself is like anti-sclim. It's like killing my soul. So this is why I love streaming so much and why I love VTubing, because I can be myself all the time and I don't feel restricted at all. You know, I can be like, the only restrictions I have are NDAs. All I have to do is not talk about certain things. But other than that, you know, Socks is very open to letting me bounce around. So I'm like, yeah, all right, hell yeah, feels great. Can't be a harmless himbo gremlin wandering the woods at night if you're a teacher. Yeah, just because the vibes are off. Also, hey, Catboy on the YouTube side, what's going on? What's going on? The standards people hold teachers to for their lack of pay is so pants head. I mean, you know, I have a weird opinion because like there's a passion tax, right? With things like teaching where it's like, because you want to be a teacher and you're passionate about it, they will not pay you the highest. That's why private industry is like always higher paid. Same for like public research is very similar. But I will say, I mean, there is the fact that teachers do not work over the summer. So maybe they are, it's weird because it's like, it's a full-time position, but like if you were to do it hourly, they're kind of being paid as if they're not working those 2.5 months during the summer, right? Because if they were working those 2.5 months during summer and then they increase their pay by like 20-30% because of that, maybe that would be more reasonable. But I also loved having summers off, so I money was not a problem for me, is what I would say. I didn't stop doing it for monetary reasons, but it was a lot of commitment. It was a lot of commitment for sure. Teachers step outside of school. I know, hard to believe, right? You can actually see your teacher outside of school. Very scary. Bananas are also great for working out. It's like the potassium. Yep. Potassium will help prevent cramps. More of a cramp thing, but good in general. You know, stay nutrient dense. Found it weird that schools wouldn't let teachers wear jeans. Yeah. Now I could at times because I was doing like PE sometimes, so I was allowed to wear like, you know, like shorts sometimes and stuff like that. But it depended. Teachers were only allowed to wear jeans on Wednesday. They had to wear them with a college alumni shirt. I see. Yeah, you're not the only ex-teacher felt that way. There's actually a lot of teachers in VTubing, I'm noticing. I think Croc was actually an elementary school teacher as well, which was surprising. I think I saw that Croc say that recently as well. And I was like, oh shit. Hell yeah. There shouldn't be a passion tax. So true. I mean, I loved it. I had a lot of fun. Like, if I had the opportunity to do it again sometime in the future, even as like a substitute teacher, I'd probably would. It is really fun. I've always thought that one thing that I would really like is like the Montessori schools. Because again, I'm a bit chuny here, okay? Don't make fun of me. But it reminds me a little bit of Naruto. I know it's a bad reason, but it does remind me a little bit of Naruto. When you're in like the really small Montessori schools where you have kids who are part of your school from like age like 5 to 17, right? Like they're in the same school, they're with the same people all the way through their entire childhood, and you're the teacher, and it feels a little bit like a Naruto squad where it's like, okay, it's you and like maybe you're a teacher of like 5 kids and there's other teachers, but like these are your 5, and you see them, you're with them like your whole life or their whole life. I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like having that level of like impact, I guess I would say, is pretty cool. That's kind of nice. So I would be interested in doing that maybe sometime in the future. We have some near me. I hope I can afford to put my own kids through them. Yeah, there's some near me. I never went to any, but I've seen them and how they work, and I see how they function and stuff, and I'm like, ooh, that's cool. Because it's like non-traditional, right? I like non-traditional stuff. Education allows you to go into the woods, right? That's always really cool. And like learn things in nature and stuff like that, and pursue things you're interested in as a kid, like your interests and your hobbies. I'm like, I would do that. I would do that 100%. I'd love to be a Montessori teacher. That'd be awesome. Play the Paimon clip. Ah! Yeah, we're in Maine. We're in Maine right now, Vex. But yeah, just thoughts about that. But it would be super cool. It'd be like a Naruto squad, okay? Trust me, it'd be so cool. I'd be like the Jonin, and they'd be like the Genin, and we'd train and get stronger, and that'd be so cool. Oh man. All right, sorry, had the little of the chuny self out right there. But yeah, I think it's a cool setup. I think it's a really cool setup. Wait, what town in Maine? This is Bath, Maine right now, Leafy. We're in Bath, Maine. I think it's one of the coastal towns. Might be near Portland. I think it's like west of Portland or something. Look at that and think, where was this when I was a kid? Yeah, pretty much. Where was this when I was a kid? I did have options. I remember one time actually, no, Portland, Maine. I almost went to a private school when I was younger because I was kind of a bit of a class clown troublemaker for the teachers, and not against other kids, but for the teachers. I was very anti-authority, and they thought maybe they'd put me in a private school. And what I remember, I went to the private school because I was like a huge chuny as a kid, right? And so I went to the private school and did like a demo day there, where I like kind of shadowed other students for the whole day. And I came back and my mom was like, what did you think? And my actual legitimate answer was, Mom, this is weird. Everyone's too nice. I was used to like the combat of public schools and the struggle and strife of public schools. And I was like, no, this is too peaceful. I can't have this. I need war. I need to go back to war, mother. How's my friend group gonna beat the other friend group of our enemies if I leave? It's like I need to go back to war, Mom. They're too nice here. Bath, if you're taking a bath, you need soap, which you can use code VTuber mail for it. Cheeky soap. True. Ah, yeah. Mom, this is weird. The nuns are the arbiters of discipline. I was not Christian, but it was like, I think, a Christian school. But you went to Vermont in 2018, loved it. Vermont's like my favorite state ever. I love Vermont. So cool. No, it's not on chill yet, but I craved exactly. I needed the violence. I need the competition. I couldn't go and exist in a nice, happy place where everybody's nice. No, I need violence and strife and war. That's part of the character development, right? The plot would have been wrong. About 2 hours away from where you were born. Nice. You bounced between public and private schools, and public ones were always more fun. They were. I could also get away with more, you know? And yeah, I don't know. I definitely thought of school that way contemporary. Like, even at the time, I thought of school that way, where I was like, this is like anime arcs, and I need to have the competition and like the strife to grow. So even as an 8th grader, I was thinking that way, like full Chunibyo. I mean, my friends and I even came up with our own like Chuni power system. I've talked about that before. I still have the notebook, and someday maybe I will reveal that, but I also can't because it's kind of doxy because I used the name online too, so it's a little bit doxy. But yeah, no, good times though, good times. Public school has that personality you can't find at private. Yeah, it really does. It really does, because it's everybody, right? Like, in a way, one of the downsides of private schools, while they are nicer and they're obviously like better funded and stuff, is you don't get people from all walks of life, right? You generally will only get people who can afford private school, and it's gonna be a very narrow band. Versus public school, it's just everyone in the area, so you're gonna have a bunch of unique people. And yeah, I think that's like more exciting as a kid. At least it was for me, you know. Used to go to private school, then public for a year before moving to the US, and the public was really poor in every sense. Yeah, there were some public schools I wouldn't really want to work in or be part of, you know. They actually had us work in, when I was in teacher education, as part of teacher education, you had to go to a very, very low income area and teach for a little bit. That was part of our education. And it was very fulfilling. It was very fulfilling because you felt like you could do a lot of good and make a lot of impact, but the conditions were really not great. The conditions were really, you know, it was bad. You'd have a lot of kids whose like parents were in jail and stuff. It was sad, you know. I'd have kids who would say like, oh, like, you remind me of my dad who's in jail. And I was like, fuck, you know, there's that sort of thing. So that's rough. That's rough to deal with. That's a big emotional toll, you know. Did you sell that to Jonka? No. Yeah, it's good. It's part of the training. I think it's an important part of the training, right? It's definitely a very important part of the training. And it's very eye-opening, for sure. Public school in the US was even more well-funded than the private school I went to. I was shocked you got fed for free and had a library with computers. Oh, yeah. Well, you get fed for free depending on income, usually in the US. But I've taught in I used to like teach in 2 different very poor public schools, but for different situations, right? Like, one was an inner city low income public school, and then another place I teach was a rural low income public school. And those 2 things were very different. The situations they were dealing with, the problems they were dealing with were very different, right? So on one side, it was the situation of like, you know, people saying they're like dads in jail and stuff like that. The other side was very much more like a lot of drug problems, a lot of like, there's a lot of, you know, heroin and stuff like that going around because there's nothing to do and there's no jobs for anybody. And it was, you know, a different situation. But Those, you know, the kids in the rural area, though, very good at fishing. It was really humbling to see a 7-year-old angle a fish and strip it better than you could. That was wild. You know, more well-rounded makes people aware of their privilege and able to help others in the future. Yeah, I think it's important. I think it is important for teacher education to be like, you know, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, and there's going to be challenging situations, and to learn that for sure. For sure. JPS, what's going on? Thanks for the raid. What's happening? Yeah, speaking of drug problems, med check, everybody. Is a naked man. Yo, what's up, Crash? Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Sclimbo from Socks Agency, certified self-improvement VTuber. We're just having a little yap today before we get to the fitness questions, which I am monitoring. I do see them. Sorry for making you wait, anybody who did submit them, but I did want to have my talk in today because I had a lot of topics I wrote down to talk about. I've been using that technique I talked about. I've been writing down everything I wanted to talk about on Thursday streams, like in a little notepad. So I'm just going down the list and being like, yeah, here's all the stuff I was thinking about recently, you know? The Yapper. Hey, Lux. Teased to meet you. Hey, Crash, thanks for the follow. So, as a lot of you may know, cheese to meet you. Lampus is starting tomorrow. Lampus RP in Minecraft, the Lampus SMP, the last resort. Another 2-week SMP starting tomorrow night. And I did say you might see some familiar faces. We might have cooked something. There might be some little rats running around. The Rat Pack. The rats. Where are the rats? So there might be some fun going on there soon. You're once again back with Minecraft Hardcore, this time with an older mod pack. Oh, nice. Hope that's going well. I still haven't done more of my run. I need to do more of my run too, but thanks for reminding me about that. Hope you had a good stream, JPS. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate you. My apologies. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, can you tell us about your character yet? I think so. No, Tulip's not here. Tulip, because we still are also having Adventure Ascension Season 3, so Tulip will be back in that. I will be playing Tulip again. Desync was mentioning the Rats group was bigger than some of the smaller factions. Maybe. There might be a lot of rats. Yeah, I'm happy we get to do stuff too. It's always fun to have like the RP group, it feels like, right? There's a lot of us who are like, regardless of who's hosting the RP server, I feel like there's like a group of us who are just like hopping around to all of them. And it's fun to do it again. So thank you for approaching me with the rat idea. Yeah, so my character, I can talk a little bit about my character, I think, because I didn't put out like an official announcement, but it does start tomorrow and people already did. So my character is named Monty Ray. For Monterey cheese, and I am a jacked rat who is part of the board of tourists, and I'm basically gonna try to be the guy, and I need to talk to the mods about this, but I'm gonna be the guy who is like the tour group guide, right? So I'm with like the Lampus board of tourists, and I'm kind of like the dude who takes you on the group trips on vacation, like that the hotel will do, right? So they'll be like, oh, group scuba trip, and I'm gonna be running it. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. Yeah, I haven't gotten the voice down yet. I'm between 2 different things, but I'm going to be playing Monty Ray, and I am a rat. I am part of the Rat Pack. The fun thing about the rats that we actually got in the server as a request, I think, is the rats, all of us are very small because we're rats, and we have our hitboxes and our actual in-game physics sizes at actual rat size. So we can like sneak under 1 block tall things. It's really good. You can take character of Sclimbo. You can't take Sclimbo out of the character. Yeah, I think we're like 1 block tall or less. Like we can crouch under blocks. So it is really good for streaming. You're so right, man. Oh, it is really good for streaming. Remy Rat Le Cheese. So I'm very excited for that. We're gonna have another good 2 weeks of rat action coming up, starting tomorrow. You've only seen 1 rat SMP. So not everybody's a rat. We just have a rat faction. We have a pack of rats. That I think Lux, did you organize the rat pack? I imagine you did. And but the Rat Pack is quite a few people from Adventure Ascension. So, yeah. You're an easy target for Baby Zombie? Yeah, true. Yeah, you organize it? Thanks for organizing it, Lux. I did just get set up this morning. I was like away and really busy, but I did just like get the character model, get in game, test everything. I don't know if I have to like submit stuff anywhere to do any work stuff in the server, like job stuff, but I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I love seeing whatever the Lux MC Mafia gets up to. Exactly. Actually, it was great. Etu knew I was part of the rats. I didn't say anything to Etu, but Etu was like, you're a rat, right? And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I am. We can stack on top of each other and squeeze into small holes. Yo! I did notice, though, that the downside of that is that we can't walk up one block, right? Like, we're not tall enough to jump over one block. Is that going to be a problem? I feel like that's a major problem. We need stairs to, like, get anywhere. We need to, like, mantle on top of each other or something. Because if true, oh my god. That's going to be so funny. I learned about the rats in an exo stream, and the moment you said you were in it too, I knew. Yeah. Oh, we can jump and walk normally? Okay, cool. Because I tried jumping up something and it didn't work, and I was like, uh-oh. So I'll have to make sure about that. Hey, Chef, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I should have a higher jump. Rats are good at jumping, true. Yeah, but I'm very excited for that tomorrow. Now, as for if we're streaming it or not, I might have a crazy idea. I might have a bit of an insane, crazy Sclim idea that I think both Etu and Mint will bonk me. Will bonk me when I give this idea. What if I stream twice per day? What if I stream twice per day? What if because what if we had our normal streams, but then we also streamed again in the evenings, and there were 2 Sclims? Why twice? Because a long one's harder, Etu. I need to eat. I need to eat and, like, edit clips and stuff. I don't have time. I need a break. Yeah, I'm gonna need a break. But I have been thinking of, like, what if I also stream in evenings? Because I've been struggling. With this thing where clip in stream, eat in stream. No, I need to entertain. I need to walk around and put my hands up in the air and be like, I need to jingle keys. Whoa, I need to do that, you know? So I can't like be quiet ever. I think it's actually not bad. Still take your days off. Yeah, probably. I'm just kind of, whoa, keys, Ajax. Exactly. It's whoa. But I have been thinking about this idea because I have talked to you guys about this before, but I've been kind of messing around with this idea of, do I want to swap to 6 p.m.? I might have mentioned it once or twice. I was like debating whether I should swap the evening streams or not. For a variety of reasons, because I'm full-time now. I can, and evening streams are technically like easier and better in ways and stuff like that. Yeah, create content for our corpo. Work. So obviously, though, I felt really bad because I was like, well, if I move my time by like 6 hours, that's going to be a problem, because everyone who's here right now, like, I'd feel bad for the people who are already part of my audience. It feels like screwing them, and they were the ones who helped get me this far. Right? So I don't want to abandon anyone, because it's like 6 hours away from my normal start time. So I was like, what can I do so I could still stream in the evening and, like, you know, grow other audience there, but not abandon everyone? And the answer might be streaming twice per day. I've been thinking about that this morning, actually. Yeah, a lot of us won't be able to make it, but I will get others. Exactly. And, like, this is one of the reasons why we initially made the redeem, the check-in redeem over the streak redeem, because obviously that's a problem. We can't expect everybody to get their streaks up by coming to every single stream, because it would be twice per day on the days I stream. That's why we did the check-in system for a higher overall number. But yeah, I wouldn't expect people to make it either. I'd be like growing a pretty much new audience in the evening, but without giving up everyone who's here right now, right? So I think the idea would be something like, and it'd have to be lower effort. Like, the agreement here would be that the evening streams would have to just be lower effort, because I won't be able to keep up this output otherwise, you know? Don't burn yourself out, though. But VOD bros are super valid. They are, Jax. You're so right about that. Very true. Very true. I've just definitely been tempted by the evening over and over and over again. Do an exclusively evening, I'll not be able to help like this till I move to Canada. Exactly. And I don't want to like abandon everyone, you know? Siesta between streams. That's kind of the idea, right? So what I'm thinking about doing is it would be something like this. So we would start Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We'd go live at noon, right? And as we usually do, we'd have our normal stuff. We'd have our just chattings. We'd have our fitness streams. We'd have our Pokemon. We'd have all the stuff we normally done. Nothing like that would change, right? But you'll notice that most of the time when I'm doing collabs, it's in the evening, right? So what if on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I also just had a 6 p.m. stream? The idea being, we'd either be doing collabs then, we'd be doing the SMP servers, or we'd just be playing games. We'd be doing progression games, right? Stuff we don't play during the normal stream. So it'd be like, you know what? that is an actual slot for us to progress long form RPGs and progress games I want to play on my own and just stream the experience, right? But the agreement would be I'm definitely not going to be as energetic during the evening streams. Because I'm going to either have to be focusing on the SMPs and the collab servers or the collabs, or I'll just be like, hey, I'm doing progression in an RPG right now. Like, I am tired, right? Because my energy levels are definitely lower at night. So it'd be like a high energy Sclim versus low energy Sclim, kind of like what's Toxel's evolution in Pokemon? There's the high spec and low spec version. It's like that, right? One long stream when you take your extended break, play SVA videos till you come back. No, because I think it'd be good to have a long break, like a long break, where it'd be like between like, you know, 3 or 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. because I still need to like make food and do like clipping and chores and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. It'd be a day Sclim and a night Sclim. Kind of like what Zen does after stream, YouTube stream. Yeah, a bit like that. Or yeah, slop time. Exactly, slop time, Lux. It'd be like that. Or actually, Gene gave me the idea too. I was talking to Gene about it, Lucky Gene. And Gene said, I guess Gene does that. Gene streams for 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours at night. And I was like, is that sustainable? Can you do that? And I guess, yeah. I wouldn't say it's going to be short streams. I don't think I'd really stop doing long streams in the daytime. I mean, they might become 3-hour streams rather than 4-hour streams, but they wouldn't be 2-hour streams, right? And Pokemon would probably still stay long. It would just be that the idea is instead of doing, you know, collabs every night and SMP servers offline and all these games I would have been playing anyway and Discord streams, those would all be live. I would just be doing them in the evening as a separate thing. So Cammy does split screens now and again. Okay, yeah. Slop time. Well, you know, there's a lot of games I want to catch up on, but I have no time to play. So that would be for that. Like, the agreement would have to be, and I'd have to really work on my mental for this one, because this is a brainworms thing for me, right? I'm very much about, like, I want to be talking all the time on stream, and I'd still stay talking, but I want to be talking all the time. I want to be given, like, good content, right? So the evening streams would have to be lower effort. They'd have to be like, honestly, they might not even be multi-streamed because I don't have the capacity to make thumbnails and waiting rooms for all those. So they would probably just be on Twitch and Twitter maybe. And they would be like, yeah, they're live. I'm live. We're doing something, right? Every night that I normally stream. That would be the idea. Because I need to get the brainworms out of like, this needs to be not a lower quality product, but a different product. Right? It has to be like, yeah, this is like chill and I'm just kind of doing stuff and I'm kind of hanging out with people, but I'm going to be lower energy for sure because I become way like quieter and lower in the evening and stuff like that. And we're going to be playing stuff. It'd be much more chill atmosphere. But if you want to like max out our PPOV quality, I can show you the stuff I did for Adventure with Music. Yeah, Lux, I'd actually love to see that because I know Bettle did a lot of that too. And that's what the first time I ever saw it was Bettle in VTRP doing that stuff. And I was like, whoa, that's awesome. But yeah, I'd actually like to, that'd be really good to have, Lux. That'd be really good to have. I'd love to look into it, but get into Mahjong. That's a goated evening activity. That was your inspo? I figured, yeah. But yeah, Bettle and Lux POVs. Yeah, and Lux did a really good job of it too in the previous stuff, like in Adventure and stuff. Also, Adventure Ascension, I don't know if it's like, I'm not going to say any dates or anything, but that is also coming back, right? Season 3 will be happening. So also excited for that. And many other things coming. But you know, without saying too much, without spoiling anything, I will say, I think there is maybe also good reasons as to why there might be split Sclim streams with different Sclims once 2.0 comes along, right? Because there's going to be me and there's going to be whatever I turn into. And that might work. That might work out, actually. Who knows? Still in the planning phase, but yes, it will be back. All right, sweet. Awesome, yeah. So there might be something that could happen there, right? There's a daytime Sclim and there's a nighttime Sclim. I'm thinking about it. Because if I just keep it to 4 streams, and I really get strict. I'd have to really get strict about like, I gotta end at this time. If we're doing a collab, it has to be within these times on these days. Because like, I can't be doing 2 streams per day for 4 days a week. And then also doing like 5 collabs on top of that aren't in those time slots. So they either have to be in those time slots or like where we're, you know, completely different day. And I'd still keep Wednesday off and then Saturday, Sunday off would be the idea. Yeah, day Digimon Evo, night Digimon Evo. You know, Sclim after dark. See, these ideas work really well. I've been thinking about it. I really think there's something there. It's just a matter of if I can pull it off and if I have the stamina to do it. But I am full-time now, right? It's not the situation anymore where I have to run and train my clients and stuff like that. So my evenings are free to do this aside from the work I have to do. So yeah, I think if I treat it more like free time, rather than like a stream in the way I've been streaming now, I think it could work. It could work, you know? I opened a pack of Pokemon cards and got a rare gold Sclimbo, but it ran off with my whey protein jugs and I haven't seen it. Werewolf? Wait, what werewolf? What werewolf? What werewolf? Oh, for like the daytime, nighttime idea? That would be pretty funny, yeah. That would be pretty funny. But like that, I mean, that wouldn't work, right? Because that's like a full moon thing. That wouldn't work, really. You'd have to like wait for a full moon to do something like that, probably. When he consumes all carbs after dark. Where's Sclim? You're just trying to make me a dog again. You're just trying to find any excuse to turn me into a dog. That's what's happening here. That's what's happening here. Where Sclim works different. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha. See, look, we're summoning everyone now. Here's Udamika. I said Sclim dog. There's Udamika. Envy does it based on the moon. Wait. Oh, that's sick. That's actually so sick. You turned yourself into a dog? I did not. You are doing that, by the way. Also, as a general statement, no pregnancy announcement. That's not a thing. I know you in Discord, everyone was talking about a pregnancy announcement. That's not real. Didn't happen. That's a fictional creation. Yet, I don't want to hear it. Envy is a wolf form. He uses it on full moon streams. That is so cool. Ooh, if there's something I really love, it's the idea of swapping models based on like season or like full moon or something like that. Oh, that's so nature attuned. It's kind of nature coded. I love that. That's so sick. I'm not a dad. No, I'm not a dad. I'm not. There's no pregnancy announcement. I'm single. We're years away from that happening, if it ever were to. All right? Didn't happen. We made it up. It's fiction. We're sending our dog energy into the Sclim meter like a spirit bomb. Oh my god. Hey, I should... You know what? Ad break. Ad break. We're going on ad break. I need to answer fitness questions. We'll be right back in 4 minutes. You're right. I could be single and have kids, but you can't adopt that way. I don't think they let you... Oh, put that away. I don't think they let you adopt. I also wouldn't. I can't afford that. I can't afford that right now. Yeah, I'm running away. All right, I'll be back in 4 minutes. No, you all stretch and take your meds and get drinks and snacks. I'm going to go do some pull-ups and eat some pineapple. I'll see you in 4 minutes. Then we'll answer some fitness questions. All right? Agreement? Good. Sounds good. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Hey, J-Ray. And yeah, little dog, yeah, you missed some stuff. Just, you know, talking, nothing important. Don't listen to chat. Don't listen to chat and whatever they say. Whatever crazy things they're spinning in their head. I'm sure it has not. What do you... All right. All right, what are we... Hey, yeah, welcome back. Hey, we should talk about fitness, huh? Speaking of little dog, please. Welcome back from the run in the garden. Hope you let off some energy. I did. No, I didn't go for a run in the garden, though. Maybe I spun around in circles a little bit, but I didn't do that. We were saying Sclim wasn't a dog boy and insisted we were wrong, as usual. Well, what I said was I'm not pregnant. That was the previous line of conversation we were having before the dog boy thing. Tail chaser. I'm ending stream. I can't win. There's nothing I can say. There's nothing I can do. No, I don't admit to anything. I deny the allegations. I have a video about this. I deny the allegations. Hey, look. All right. Your fitness is your jingle keys. Here, look. It's fitness. Whoa. There. Here's your jingle keys. All right, look at this. Look at Marshmallow. All right, everybody. Marshmallow time. We're answering fitness questions. Should be linked in the pin in chat. If you want to ask any fitness or nutrition questions, feel free. You can ask them anonymously here. I am qualified to talk about this stuff, so you can feel free to ask anything, or you can ask in chat if you don't mind your name being attached to it. So, anything you do will circle back to you being Scooby-Doo. I hate that rhymes. Let's answer some questions. We got 3 in right now, and usually more come in as we start talking about them. Sorry to make you wait so long. We had a lot to talk about today, but there's always the VOD if people had to run, you know? Jingle, jingle protein, jingle, jingle weights, where? All right, first question. I asked last week about the click I'm getting when doing hanging leg raises, and now I have 2 updates that maybe you can use to help me out. First, the feeling is definitely in the hip joint itself. I see. Okay. Like the socket where my left leg meets my hip. Yep. Happens on release when you're lowering your legs. Second, it's audible to my phone's microphone being held about a foot away from my hip. That I expect. Not just an internal feeling for a click. Yeah, it's a real click. Do you think this is a possible form issue? Am I using too much hip and not enough abs? Or are my joints just built different / incorrectly? So, you could be using too much hip and not enough abs. That is one thing. What is happening here, most likely, especially if it's socket, is what's happening is your bone, basically, in the socket is kind of rubbing against one of the bands, probably the psoas band, I would say, or the iliopsoas band or something like that. And that can kind of cause this like clicking sound when the muscle kind of just like, and the muscle or the tendon kind of like runs and moves over the bony protrusion, right? So,
Face of Mars.
So it could be that. Yeah, knees have clicks like this, shoulders have clicks like this, hips have clicks like this. It's usually not the worst thing in the world if it's painless and it doesn't degrade over time. It's usually kind of fine, but there are some things you can do to work on that. So a couple things to do. This can actually happen if you are not stretched out properly. So in this case, this would be hip flexors are what you probably want to stretch. One really good stretch for this is kind of like the 90-90 stretch. If you want to like look that up, you kind of put yourself in like a weird position, but any stretch that opens up the hip flexors might help here. That might be something to do. Another thing, try bringing your legs in. If the lever arm, like if your legs are out all the way, that can actually put more stress on it and cause the noise. But you could progress first by having just your knees in like a knee raise, and then slowly over time see if it still happens as you put your legs out, right? So could be those 2 things. Try different forms, try different widths of your leg, try stretching your hip flexors a little bit more. And then if really none of those things, it might actually be that your form's incorrect and you're using too much hip and not enough ab. That's also very possible. And that's like a core stabilization problem that you could fix by doing other things first, like planks and stuff like that. So kind of like try those avenues to see what's going on there. But yeah, that's like something you run into a lot. Don't worry, you're not exploding, especially if it's painless. It's just something that can happen where bands kind of snap over protrusions in your bone, depending on how you're built. So it can happen. The existence of a face on Mars implies the existence of feet on Mars. I don't think it does. I don't think we have to have feet. I think people have faces who don't have feet. So I think not necessarily, right? Maybe like a 90%, but not 100. Oh God, remember planking? Yeah, I remember planking. I mean, my knees crack, my knees pop. You could probably even hear it on mic. If I put my mic right next to my knees, you could probably hear it. It's really bad. If I bent over. Can I do that? Hold on. I'd have to like lower my mic stand because my mic's not freeform. Nah, I won't do it. I won't do it. So for the knee version of this, same thing. You can do like things to stretch out your knee. It's a little different because it might not be the same band necessarily. But you can also, you know, stretch your knees. I would say look at the knees over toes guy for a lot of that stuff. I do believe his information seems to be pretty correct. He's being proven right over time. So YouTube channel, I believe knees over toes guy has a lot of good information about kind of strengthening your knees more so than you would expect, I guess I would say. Yeah, we do be snap, crackle, pop and Rice Krispies. Let's see. Can I DM you some questions about it later? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. It's always funny when your body does a weird thing and you're not sure if you're going to die in the next 20 seconds or if it's fine. Yeah, you're like, uh-oh. No, I'm very used to that. That's like a normal thing. Is that the guy who can almost fold into a two-dimensional shape? Yeah, that's the guy who can cube himself. He knows a good bit about knees. He's learned quite a bit in repairing his own knees and making them stronger. So he seems to be good. Like, it's one of those situations where it's like we might not have all the best science on this, so we have to rely a little bit on some bro science, but dude has some good arguments and does some good exercises. So he's been doing it for a long time. I tend to trust him. How do you strengthen your knees? I thought it was mostly cartilage and tendons. You can strengthen tendons. It's just a lot slower in the muscles. So there's a lot of things that you'll do, such as like certain stretches, walking backwards is a big one. That stuff. Yeah, he's a knee freak 7 days a week. It's so true. He can cube to hypercube. You could say that maybe. There goes Cube Guy. Watch him as he flies. Bro science is pretty awesome. It really is. All right, question number 2. Is adding an extra set more or less worthwhile than increasing the weight with the same set count? Trying to increase my output, but I've hit some weirdness, I guess, where I can't quite lift heavier weights. So both are actually totally fine. These are both methods of progression. If you can't do one, do the other first. So not everybody is at a point where they can increase the weight on their current lifts, but if you can add an extra set, that will absolutely give you some extra benefits until you can increase weight again. Now, I would say generally, you probably do want to aim over time for increasing weight, but that's just because that's going to mean objectively you're getting a lot stronger. And you know you're getting stronger if you're adding sets that you couldn't do before as well. But I think there's something pretty, I don't know, monkey brain about just like number go up, right? Number get bigger, I get stronger. So I do like eventually increasing the weight number, but you can absolutely do that as progression as well. And if even that is too much, you can always slow down the rep. Right? If you're at a point where you feel like you can eke a little bit more out, but you can't increase the reps any, and you can't increase the sets any, and you can't increase the weight any, just slow a rep down a little bit. That's even another way to do it. There's many different ways to increase your overall volume and work. And so, yes, this is a very good thing you can do. Absolutely. It makes sense. My physio told me to do a knee stretch and see if it helps. Yeah, stretching is very important. This is something that I really want to hammer into people, and I need to be better about too. When you're like above, like, I don't know, 23, you should probably just start stretching. Like, you need to. It's not something that's optional. People think it's optional. It's not. You need to get a good stretching routine and do it like twice a day. It's kind of just super important as you get older, or you might explode, or you'll explode. Hey, what's up, Funny Potato? Isn't that the wild Giga Chad Rizzlord shiny VTuber male with the huge singular ab? How you doing, my dude? I'm doing good. Thank you for all those beautiful compliments about me. Kisses. Yeah, people do forget to stretch. Me too, by the way. Lax on yoga lately. Yeah, yoga and Pilates and stuff like that are really good. Stretching and stuff. Yoga's awesome. If I had a free yoga thing near me, I would go 100%. Do I not have... Chat, do I have Riz? Chat, do I have Riz? No. All right, next question. Thanks, Liz. I appreciate the vote of confidence. I appreciate it. Stretch, is it edible? No, you can't eat a stretch, unfortunately. Is it normal for different exercises with roughly the same target to have different weights you can handle? Yeah, I've been working on getting my leg extensions past 105.15, but I feel ready to move to 125.10 for my raised heel squats. Makes you wonder if I'm doing one of the exercises wrong. No, not at all. And those are actually very different exercises. So the trick here is in compound versus isolation. So yeah, weights are going to be different, even though they're targeting quote unquote the same muscle, because one of those exercises is also utilizing other muscles. That's the trick, right? Squats in general do not just recruit the quadricep, whereas leg extensions will primarily, like 95%, almost exclusively target the quadricep, right? So you're taking your quadricep alone to failure versus taking your quad along with your core and a little bit of your glutes and hamstrings and so on and so forth, right? So yeah, different exercises will absolutely have different weights. Now, it could also be different motions too. So I was going to say, like, even within isolation exercises, there are different motions and different things that use different weights. Good example being cables versus free weights, right? The methodology is different. Lateral raises might be the same, but if you use them on a cable machine versus using free weights, your numbers are probably going to be different. One of those things has a much less stable pull and a much different strength curve, right? A cable will be pretty much equal tension the entire time if you step it out, and it's also inherently much more unstable, whereas a dumbbell will have a different tension profile. It won't be super tense at the top, and that will also affect how many reps you can do. So yeah, exercise to exercise, it's also different, even if they're targeting the same exact muscle, but especially in a case where it's an isolation versus a compound movement, like leg extensions versus squats. So yeah, nothing wrong there. That's totally normal, totally makes sense. Yeah, and if anything, sometimes they're very different, right? So I could see a situation where I might, and I've seen people like this who can do like, I don't know, like 125 for 10 on leg extensions, and then they squat 205, right? Very different numbers. So totally normal. You're good. Sclim, get more Riz, use Riz for profits, stonks up. How do I, hey, how do I get Riz? How do I get Riz? Etu, how do I get Riz? If you listen, Etu, you gotta... Listen, if you want me to riz more for Sox VTubing agency, you need to teach me how. I need a lesson. Just like I need vocal lessons, I need a lesson. How do I riz? How to riz? What's riz when you really think about it? I wonder. You won't stretch that joke for now? All right, next question. Hey, Sclim, one of my biggest issues with physical fitness is consistency. Even if it's something simple as doing 10 push-ups every day, I cannot commit to it. I have a sneaking suspicion this might be related to an ADHD diagnosis, since I have noticed other symptoms as well. Considering my current physical situation isn't extremely bad, would you suggest getting that checked out before trying to force myself into being consistent? Does mental health take precedent over physical health? Ooh, good question. Gotta hit the whoa. Okay, hold on. Hitting the whoa. That was me doing it, but you couldn't see it. I'm hitting the whoa. All right. Actually, a really good question. Oh, that's a tough one, actually. Okay. Does mental health take precedence over physical health in cases like this? Yes, I would say. If the case is that you were physically otherwise healthy, then, and you're not in like danger physically, then yeah, I would say mental health does take precedent, because I kind of treat them as equals myself, where like, you know, you put more effort into whatever one needs the effort at the moment. Overall, would I say physical health is more important than mental health? I'd say they're equal. I'd say they're equal, right? In a general case. But in your case, if you're already physically pretty okay, then yeah, focus on mental stuff first and see if you can get that figured out. But if it's not that, or if it's that, but medications for ADHD don't solve the problem, there's still a bunch of tricks you can use. Biggest trick for consistency being just make it something that's fun. Don't do 10 push-ups every day. Don't even go to the gym. Go find something that you enjoy doing and just do that instead, is one of the big recommendations, right? Like a hyperfixation of some kind, right? Maybe you really like tennis. Maybe you really like swimming. Maybe you really like martial arts. Maybe you really like, I don't know, water polo, swimming, anything like that. Go find it. Go figure it out. Because if you're having fun, that'll do it for you, right? You don't need to do 10 push-ups every day necessarily. While I do think building muscle is very important, there are many ways to do it. But overall, the most important thing is just moving. Just moving. HEMA, anything, dance. Yeah, dance is an incredible one as well. Just anything. Find what's fun. You don't have to be in a gym. I also don't like being in gyms, even though I, run one. But like, yeah, just go find something that's fun instead. If that's still going to be a consistency problem, go just find something you'd enjoy doing. Just kind of, you want to expand your mind out of the idea that you need to do push-ups to do fitness, right? It's like the same as thinking like you need to squat if you lift, or you need to bench press if you lift. No, you don't. If you want to have a rounded body, you might need to target the quad or target the chest. Doesn't mean you got to bench or squat. You could do something else. You could do flies. You could do chest flies. You might never have to bench a day in your life. Because in the end, why are you benching? Right? What's the goal? Stop thinking about the process in that case and think about the goal, right? What is my goal? If your goal is to just get healthy, you don't need to bench press. You don't even need to be in a gym. right? If your goal is to bench press, then yeah, you need to bench press. But you got to really think about it and break it down in that way, where it's like you don't have to do what everyone else is doing to be fit. You can do what's best for you, and you should do what's best for you, because that's going to be the thing you're most consistent at. All to say. For all, yeah, frisbee golf could be that too. My fave is dance, not a command. Okay, well, I was doing a little jig anyway, so, you know, I do like dancing. Dancing's really fun. I would love to get, like, I'd love to take, like, a disco class. That would be so fun. Honestly, I'm really jealous that we lost disco. It seems like a great time, right? Especially roller disco. I kind of want that. I feel a little, like, born in the wrong time that we missed that, you know? It's like the golden rule. It really is. It really is. Even climbing, right? Rock climbing, climbing gyms, anything. Yeah, let's dance. Yeah. Disco made a small comeback. It did. I feel like a big part of that was Get Lucky. Get Lucky felt like a disco song a little bit. I think that was Bruno Mars, right? No, that was Daft Punk. Was Bruno Mars on that? That felt a little disco, I would say. But yeah, you know, I think it's really important. And I know I keep harping on the point, but I think it's really important to kind of get this, like, sort of like methodology agnostic version of fitness, push it a little bit more, where, like, you know, you will have people tell you, like, oh, you need to squat, you need to bench press, you need to deadlift, and you really don't. They're good lifts. They're awesome lifts. Should you do them? Yeah, probably, if you want to be optimal, but you don't have to be optimal, because you know what isn't optimal? Not doing them because you hate them and getting nothing done. Right? More optimal than that is doing anything for your hamstrings. So it's always, as always, don't let great be the enemy of good. You know? Dragon Force did a disco song? Really? Well, that doesn't make, sounds like the complete opposite of what they do. I'll have to look at that. Put that in Discord. I want to take a look at that. You own a Quest 2 and Beat Saber. Holy shit, using Quest 2 is kind of a nightmare to use. Yeah, I used to, oh my god, there was this whole period of time where there's a gym in VR called the Mighty Gym. It's really cool. It's a full gym in VR chat, and they have, like, memberships. It's run by real fitness professionals. I've talked to them and stuff like that. And it's really cool. They have classes. They have, like, personal training. They have group lessons. And you can do it all in VR with no equipment besides your VR stuff. Yeah, and it's like a full real gym run by real professionals. They had invited me back in the day to come check it out when I was just in the Sclim factory, you could say. And I got a little invite to go check it out, and I went there, and there was something I was not prepared for, which was the fact that being in VR and exercising is really hard because you want to throw up. Because I got VR sick really fast trying to do a full workout in VR chat. So it is something you got to acclimate to. Of course, the furries in VR chat are already acclimated to that. They are the masters there. But it was a lot of me having to take breaks because I felt like I was going to throw up. Or I was like, oh man, that's, oh. But it's hardcore stuff. You wouldn't think that it could be hardcore stuff because it's like no equipment VR stuff. But do not knock it. You need your VR legs. And even then, it's a good exercise. So I would recommend the Mighty Gym. I think they do a really good job over there. They gamify it. They have a whole point system and a grading system and stuff like that based on your form. It's so nice. Is that a real issue? Oh yeah, VR sickness? Absolutely. VR legs. Because the thing is, it's like motion sickness. There's a disconnect between how your body's moving and what you're seeing. And yeah, it can cause you to get real sick. You found gum really helped. Hey, Pocket, what's going on? Yeah, gum helps. I think Dramamine helps. The funniest part about it, I will say, was I started taking Dramamine to get better at VR when I was, like, really getting into VR in the past. And if I could... There is nothing more cyberpunk than that, right? It's like, oh, I gotta take my VR drugs. Coolest thing ever, aesthetically. Kind of messed up, but aesthetically the coolest thing of all time, that you gotta go take your anti-motion sickness VR drugs so you can be better at virtual reality. That's cyberpunk right there. Come on. Ranked workouts. Oh wait, that's just Mr. Olympia. True. It is. It is. You've only done VR once and it was like this weird egg pod thing in the mall with my dad. I've seen those, yeah. Try playing Sublevel Zero. Six-axis shooting game. I didn't say that right. 6-axis shooting game. Nice. Yeah, VR Minecraft would be fun. Skyrim VR has always kind of appealed to me. I've been really feeling a Skyrim run recently. I've been really feeling like that. Maybe if we do night streams, we start by just being like, let's play Skyrim. Let's do a whole Skyrim run. Do something silly with it. I have this really dumb idea. I don't know if this is okay. Hey, can I like pick chat's brain? I'm not the smartest Sclim. Can I pick chat's brain on something? So let's talk about AI for a second. I obviously, as part of Sock's agency, we don't really mess with AI. We don't really mess with AI. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of AI art. I don't really support that. I want to support artists. Our industry is built by artists, right? So I support artists. I guess the question is, what applications are acceptable? Because I don't really know where people's line is. Because for me, it's like, I do think it's a tool that can be used some cases that aren't like stealing work from a human, that are kind of useful. And what I was thinking about is they do have those mods in Skyrim where it's AI. They have the AI overhaul mods in Skyrim where you can voice chat with the NPCs in Skyrim and make them do stuff because they're full like, what's it called? AI, characters. Right? And I was like, oh, that does sound a lot of fun though. Like I saw a video of a guy convincing a bear to come with him. And like he was talking to a bear and convinced the bear to come with him to go fight some guards in Skyrim. And I'm like, all right, that is kind of cool though. I just don't know where everyone's line is, you know? Heroic says no use cases, full stop. Let's see. The only thing I feel okay about AI is just quick stupid shit posts. Like a horse thrown up on SpongeBob. Any AI used before the advent of generative LLMs like ChatGPT is generally good. So it might be a bit rough. Okay, yeah, if people aren't keen on that, I like don't, you know, I don't have a problem not doing it. That's why I'm asking, because I'm very like, you know, I know that where my comfort level might be is different than other people's, right? And different than chats, and I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. I'd like to err on the side of not fucking with it. So that's why I'm asking. It scrapes people's intellectual property without consent. Let's see. Let's see. Do you want Terminator to happen? This is how Terminator happens. The problem with it is the environmental burden. Yeah, I guess for that, right? Because it's using chatbots constantly. Yeah, chatbots have been a thing for centuries, but I think they're coded differently and processed differently. You know what might... what I would say might defeat the environmental impact of it is if you ran a local model. Right? Because I know they used to have that back in the day. They probably still do, where you run it locally off your own GPU and stuff. So you know, like, well, I mean, my laptop can only pull 140 watts, so it can't be doing anything more than that. But yeah, I was considering it because I was thinking about like, oh, we could do a really funny modded Skyrim playthrough where we like, you know, start talking to the NPCs and doing stuff with them. But yeah, I probably wouldn't do that if it's not the vibe. I could find another mod pack that doesn't do that stuff. But I would want to think about like a funny mod pack we could do for a Skyrim playthrough maybe. Yeah, plant a tree for every hour of use. I could do that. I could do that. People using AI to help them make stuff, not them using AI to just make something without putting forth any effort. Let's see, local models are very much a thing. Even lightweight models run well. Yeah, I don't know if they can connect to Skyrim. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, Neuro is basically a local AI. True. True. Yeah, turning your advanced calculator into an even more advanced calculator. Yeah, listen, my laptop can pull it off, all right? Believe in my laptop. Yeah, AI use is acceptable for all the stuff we used machine learning for 5 years ago. I kind of feel that, right, Aoto? Like, that's how I'm kind of feeling personally. Like, if it's my personal opinion, I'm like, if we already had this stuff anyway, like AI coding on NPCs and stuff like that, it's not that different from machine learning that we used back in the past for games and everything, so... You're 1000% anti-Neuro. I will crush that turtle with my bare hands if I ever get him. I like Neuro. I think Neuro's cool. I haven't talked to Vittel or Neuro ever. I've never interacted with them. But I think it's neat. I think it's neat. I think there's a good shot that Neuro is the most advanced AI in the world. I think there's like a good shot of that. Or at least the most human AI in the world. I think it's a good shot. AI is just marketing to make it seem futuristic. Yeah, it literally is machine learning. True. Yeah, scripting and adaptive scripting. But, yep. All right, moving on to questions. But yeah, I wanted to ask because I was thinking about it, like what we could put in Skyrim to make it funny. But there's other ideas I have. Don't worry. No worries. No worries. Let's see. Next question. Is a warm-up before your main workout necessarily tied to cardio, or does stretching count as well? Okay. Yeah. So, you know, this is actually interesting because ideally these are different things, but you also use them differently depending on what type of lift you're doing, you know? So what I mean by that is basically if you're doing powerlifting style training, you might not want to do static stretching beforehand. In fact, it might be more dangerous to do static stretching beforehand, because there is a situation where you can like kind of hurt yourself more likely by loosening up if you're doing like heavy powerlifting. You do still want to stretch, but what you do is dynamic stretching, right? So you do stretching that is replicating the movement you're about to do. So for example, bench press, you're going to be benching with just the bar and then benching with just a warm-up weight of like 135, 45. That is also stretching. I wouldn't do like plyometric, like arm hold stretching, you know, full body routine, 30-minute stretching before doing powerlifting. I would do it after. After is probably where you want to do that. So that's one thing, right? Is like, maybe don't use it that way. Now, is a warm-up different than that? Yeah, I would say so, because if you're going to be doing like cardio, you should stretch before cardio, and then you're going to be doing something like a static stretch for a while, static holds, and then move into the cardio. So yeah, there's a little different there too, and it is generally considered different. What a lot of people will do, yeah, some people do stretch for 30. What a lot of people will do is, and this is like a good thing, I think, when you get into the gym, if you're doing a lifting session of like heavy weights, go walk on the treadmill for like 5 or 10 minutes. Nothing crazy. Don't go like full hit mode, right? But like, you know, work up a little bit, start to get yourself prepared, get your body ready, raise your heart rate just a little bit, do a little bit of that. And then from there, go into your warm-ups of the sports specific warm-ups, right? So, you know, get ready to squat by squatting the bar, then a little bit more weight, and then you pyramid up. Same thing for bench. And that's all you should need. Then you could do static stretching afterwards. That's probably the best way to do things for that sort of exercise. Sprinting for an hour before a PR deadlift. Yeah, great idea. It's a very good idea. You should do it. You should do exactly that. It's not like they use the same muscles or anything. Yeah, martial arts does a lot of stretching. Absolutely. And it's good too. I mean, it gets you real flexible. Next question. Can I add a 15 to 20 minute kettlebell full body routine to my daily workouts and not count it as anything? Meaning I don't need to consider it for break times from weightlifting. So just 5 days back to back. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Again, it all is going to be relative to what your level of failure is. So if your full body kettle routine is a 200-pound kettlebell, maybe not. But if it's a 10 or 20-pound kettlebell and it's just kind of like a extra little, you know, cherry on top, yeah, you don't really have to count it, right? Because otherwise we'd be counting work. Otherwise we'd be counting going to work for a lot of people. And there's a big difference between like, yeah, maybe if you're slinging pipe all day, you should count that as exercise. But like, you know, for most people, if you're lifting like, you know, boxes here and there and just kind of walking around all day, we're not really counting that as a full exercise, full body routine thing. It's great for you. It adds a lot to your calorie burn. It's healthy, but it's not limiting your lifts. So yeah, there's a difference there. But if it's like a light kettlebell kind of fun move around sort of thing, you can absolutely layer your normal routine right on top of it and not count it. I think it's so fun. Who's Marshall? Why is everyone talking about his art? He's got really good art. Do you know what the phrase means? Wait, what phrase? What phrase? Oh, what did I do this time? Oh, come on. What did I do this time? I didn't do it. No, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything wrong. I've been good. I said slinging pipe. Oh, slinging pipe. Yeah, slinging pipe. Dude, again, I have friends who sling pipe. That's their job. They're pipe fitters. They work for sprinkler companies. They sling pipe. That's what they're up to. It's the phrase is laying pipe. They do that too. They do that too. I've been so good. I don't want to hear it. Listen, get your mind out of the gutters, chat. I'm talking about sprinkler fitting, Cat 40 pipe laying, right? Very professional topics. You're thinking of naughty things. You're thinking of salacious events. Can it be both? Yeah. I mean, you could sling pipe and also sling pipe. True. Very true. No, what I meant is, well, actually meant, now that you bring it up, I would also say that slinging pipe shouldn't count as a workout on top of your, like, you can also sling pipe and still get a bunch of lifts in. That also is not something I would count, if we want to be very clear about it. If we're being so clear about it, then yeah, that's also fine. The reason why I said slinging pipe counting as a workout is there are, you know, construction workers, right? And people who are carrying around, like, their job is, I am moving 200 pounds of pipe every day, all day. Yeah, maybe they should work out a little bit less. But if it's just a kettlebell or some light boxes and stuff like that, or just being on your feet, you don't have to count any of that stuff. You don't have to count any of that stuff, right? Light runs, you don't really have to count. That's not going to get in your way, really, of an exercise. Swimming lightly. It's really just always think of it as proportional to effort, right? Anything you do close to failure will impact your lifts. but things that really aren't close to failure and kind of just like warm you up a little bit or get the juices flowing, those don't count. You can totally layer as much exercise as you normally would right on top of those. No worries. No worries. If that makes sense. Alrighty, let's see if there's any more fitness questions. Oh, you know, actually, there was a really good video I saw that I want to talk about very briefly while we wait to see if any more questions are going to come in. So I actually was watching a video that I thought was really smart. It was another Brian Johnson video. And, you know, I do think he takes things to extremes, but I think he had a really smart video recently on approach to fitness that I super agree with. And what his video is basically arguing is that when it comes to longevity, when it comes to overall health, and not just focusing in on like biggest muscles, you know, best cardio and all those things, that you really want to have an extremely balanced routine among many different categories. Start thinking now about long-term health. And I think it was a really good argument. So what he was basically arguing was, instead of focusing exclusively on powerlifting or exclusively on bodybuilding or exclusively on running, unless that's your career or unless you have like a goal there that you specifically want to focus on, doing something instead where you do a little bit of everything might be better. So a little bit of cardio, a little bit of heavy lifting, a little bit of balance training and stretching, right? Like all these different avenues of fitness together probably are the best for longevity. Probably the best for longevity, because balance is a big one that people tend to leave out, and it actually makes a lot of sense, right? You don't generally think about balance as something that's important, but going into old age, balance is going to be very important because that's what stops you from falling and breaking your hip. So training balance early so you get really good at it is actually a really, really intelligent idea. So just, you know, I had a really good impression of that video where I was like, yeah, for longevity, you do want to be doing a bit of all that stuff, right? A little bit of stretching routine, a little bit of hard cardio, a little bit of light cardio, a little bit of powerlifting, a little bit of regular lifting, a little bit of balance, all that stuff, you know? It's like a really good idea. You have a decent question, I think. Workout wear. Hey, Leafy, is there any good workout wear companies, especially for us bigger baddies? Because I can't find anything that I really feel comfy in. Workout wear is always so tight or baggy with no in-between. I'm not the best on brands because I kind of just wear trash stuff. I should have better clothes, actually. I feel like I give off a very informal impression because I just wear like Walmart clothes and stuff like that. But yeah, there are definitely brands. I wouldn't know them, unfortunately, by name. But there might be people in chat who do. If anyone in chat knows any good fitness brands, feel free to drop them. That's like, we're not sponsored by them or anything, but feel free to give recommendations to Leafy. Unfortunately, I don't really know any. The only fitness brand I really know is Gymshark, I think. And then, oh, there's this other one. I don't know if this is, okay. One of you in chat might know about this. One of you in chat might know about this and will be able to correct me, but there's a brand called Tomboy, I think. And I only know because some of my clients wear it, but I don't know if it's a fitness brand or not. It might be something else entirely. So I want to be careful about recommending it, but it's called Tomboy and it might be something else entirely, but I just know I have clients who wear it. I know I have clients who wear it with the branding and it appears to be fitness clothing, but it might be something else. So I don't know. So I was like, I guess I could recommend that. They people wear it, but I also don't know. Is it Tomboy X? It might be. Hold on, let me look it up. Tomboy boxer briefs and compression tops. Does it have an X in the name? I think it does. Yeah. What's Tomboy X? Sounds like a genetic mutation. Tomboy X. Just a general clothing brand. Hey, Kira P, what's up? Thanks for the hydrate. Yeah, don't add too many X's. That's something completely different. Tomboy X brand. Is this what I think it is? Okay, yeah, it wasn't fitness equipment. It was, in fact, something else. And that makes sense. It's non-gendered clothing for everybody. Okay, that makes sense. It's not sus, right? That's why I was like, I don't know if it's fitness clothes or if it's something else, like I said. So, okay, that explains it. Just working. How are you doing? Good, Kira. Hope you're having a good one. We're just answering fitness questions as usual. Buldak, what'd you ask? Hold on. Ask you a serious question. What do you do for chafed nips when running long distance? I've started using Band-Aids, but I've heard some people use Vaseline. Yeah, probably Band-Aids, Vaseline. I would, if that was a problem for me, I'd try to go shirtless in the woods or something if I could. But it also depends, obviously, because there's some societal things about that. But yeah, you could. There's probably patches you could find on Amazon that would help against that. Maybe that would help against that.
Dude, your bit's huge.
Command, thank you for the bits. Gold bond friction defense. Thank me later. Okay, well, Command put 1,000 bits behind that recommendation. So there you go. There's also body glide. Sorry, there's this brand that my friend and I always made a joke about. We found it like 10 years ago, and it was called Body Glide. So we'd all just like get in each other's ear and whisper it real sensually. We'd go Body Glide, like really not sensually, but scary. But I think that's what that does. I think that's what Body Glide's actually for. Yeah, it's unisex clothing. Okay, that makes more sense, right? The only reason I knew about it was because a lot of my clients wore Tomboy X, and I was like, is that a fitness brand or is it gender inclusive, right? And it turned out, yeah, it was that. Also swim gear if you want to swim. Yep. I just didn't know. I just didn't know. Because like I said, I train people from all walks of life. I never know, right? As someone who ran to the point where the nipples both bled, Gold Bond friction defense is the actual GOAT. Well, it sounds like we have 2 recommendations right there. So let's go. Instructions unclear. Glue a hang glider to yourself. Damn. Damn. How'd you do that? All right, let's see here. Strongman Sports Guy here again. Any tips for joint and connective tissue recovery? Right wrist is tough angry right now. I'm going to say the R word. You're going to hate it. You got to rest. You got to rest. Suspecting Sclim to be a service golden retriever for queer folk. Well, I don't know about golden retriever, but I do tend to work with a lot of people who are on those spectrums for sure. Absolutely. I don't want to. I don't know. I don't have the words for it. I don't have the words for it. I really don't. But I have trained many trans people, non-binary people, and stuff like that. And would I say that statistically more than is represented in the population, like a statistical abnormality? Yes, I would say so. I would say so. Statistically, probably about 40% of my clients. Probably around 40% of my clients. So I don't know what the actual statistics out there are, but it might be, yeah, it might, I don't know. So yeah, I want people to get strong. It's simple as that. I'll help them wherever, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. I don't mind at all. I'm pro all, you know? Everyone should just get strong. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I think that way too. Yeah, it's not even about paying client and stuff like that, though. I want people to be their best selves, you know? So regardless of like what gender expression that is or anything, I just want to help people reach their goals physically so they feel better about themselves, and that gives them more confidence, and then they can use that confidence to fight the world, and the world can't beat them down, and they'll be less susceptible to mind games, and they'll be strong and powerful. That sort of thing. But yeah, so I don't know about golden retriever, but the other thing, maybe. All right, let's see here. Oh yeah, answering the question. Joint connective tissue recovery. Right wrist is tough angy. Yeah, unfortunately, my tip is usually just rest it. You know, work it out in a range where it doesn't hurt. That's another one. I think we're seeing a lot of evidence these days that injuries sometimes are actually do recover faster if you use them, as long as they don't hurt. But I've seen a lot of people recover from injury by doing an exercise that originally caused the injury. Deadlifts being a huge one. I've seen a lot of people recover from deadlifting faster by deadlifting, just reducing the range of motion to a range where it doesn't hurt, obviously cutting down on weight like crazy, and obviously taking time. Like, if you can't walk, don't do that. But there is some growing body of evidence that moving, and rather than just sitting completely still, is better for recovery. I don't know that as a scientific fact. I've just been in my experience, and I've also had it happen to me. I actually had a situation about maybe 8 months ago to a year ago where I snapped my shit up pretty bad. I went to Snap City, and I recovered within like a week by not sitting down. So what ended up happening was I was doing Romanian deadlifts, and I pulled something in my back. I think one of my hips might have been too high or something like that, and I heard it. Like I heard it snap, and I was like, uh-oh, and I couldn't get up. Hey, Melfino, welcome in, Raiders. Good to see you here. What's up, everybody? My name is Sclimbo from Sock's VTubing agency, certified self-improvement VTuber. On Thursdays, we answer fitness and nutrition questions because I do that stuff in real life. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Welcome in. Hope you had a good stream. And what were you up to? All that good stuff. Streaming Overwatch. Oh, Overwatch real? If something toward during the motion you'd like to at least adhere to is probably a good idea, though, lightly. Kind of thinking that way, right? Kind of thinking that way. So, yeah, you can reverse it with the live lifts. True. So what happened was I like snapped my thing, right? And the first thing that happened was I went, oh, right? Because I was bent over doing RDLs like halfway. And I slowly stood all the way up. And I felt like pain when I walked, right? Like stepping down on my heel hurt. It was very big pain. And in that moment, I thought to myself, if I sit down, I am not going to get up. I will never get up if I sit down. And so I just stayed standing for the next like 11 hours. I was just like, okay, I know it hurts a little bit. And this is maybe not the best idea because it did hurt. So you shouldn't follow my advice here. But I stayed walking. I stayed upright. You know, I didn't sit down. I didn't let it lock up after the injury. And it did recover a lot faster. It did recover quite a bit faster. Just by, you know, trying to stay mobile rather than sitting down doing absolutely nothing, letting that stuff lock up. So not advice if you're in pain, but if you can do anything with your wrist, for example, in this case, that doesn't cause you pain, is maybe a lessened range of motion or something like that to work you back down to your normal range of motion, you could give that a shot. You could give it a shot rather than just absolutely not using it at all. But if anything hurts, don't do it. That's usually the rule. Just practicing Overwatch. Oh, are you doing competition stuff, Melfina? What's going on? Doing competition? Cool stuff like that? Next question. Hey, Sclimbo, are there exercises for the neck or jaw? I'm thinking of something to help with TMJ or other muscle issues in those areas. Yeah, this is, you know, kind of a weird topic, right? Because, like, when you think about jaw exercise, I feel like mewing always comes to mind these days, where it's like all that stuff about, like, oh, you got to increase your jawline and stuff. But yeah, you can actually work out any part of your body that has muscles that has range of motion. So you can work out your neck. Absolutely. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. You have to be so careful. But if you look online, there are neck exercise like harnesses. We can do like weighted like neck things and stuff like that. It's really dangerous though. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. You can do it and it will grow your neck muscles, and that will, in the best case, be protective against neck injuries. So just like any other muscle, right? If you build muscle around your neck, it will most likely snap less, right? If you were to have a neck injury, the likelihood of you breaking your neck would go down. But very, very careful. Very careful with neck. Because if you do a neck exercise wrong, good luck. Good luck. That is a one-way ticket. Ouchie. Maybe look what race car drivers do. They can crack walnuts with their necks. Yeah, actually, race car drivers do a lot of neck exercise. Jaw, I'm not too sure about. I think you can work out your jaw. Maybe some like jaw muscles, right? But that's probably like a chewing thing. You probably work it out quite a bit by chewing anyway. And I don't know what side effects and downsides there might be to like chewing to failure. Like that doesn't sound that fun to me. I don't know if it's worth the squeeze. I don't know what you really get out of it. But that's probably a real thing. But I would say neck, yeah, there's a good reason to do neck maybe. Or you do a Zac Efron, break it and have it regrow as a granite chin. Yeah, you could bone smash like Clav does. Don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, that's something. That's something. Thinking to failure. You can think to failure. You can run your brain juices out for sure. Thinking to failure could be real. But yeah, there are some exercises, especially for neck. They're pretty dangerous, but you can get some benefit out of them. Although I do feel like in a lot of cases, it's kind of like a why are you thinking about this sort of thing? Where unless you have a specific need or a reason, it probably should come last in the priority list, I would say. I think it's a lot like calves, where it's like, if you have time, if you're working out the whole rest of your body and you have time to hit calves, go ahead. Absolutely, hit calves a lot. But if you were like pressed for time, like probably one of the last muscles I'd worry about, because you're going to get some pseudo neck development anyway from exercising your traps. There's not going to be like purely the neck, but it's going to, in appearance wise, might appear so just by the fact that the traps connect in some ways, right? So by doing trap exercises, you might have a little bit of that visual benefit anyway. So yeah, you can fail to think. You can fail to think. My favorite joke is training heart to failure. Yeah, heart's a muscle. You got to train it. No, you train it by doing cardio, not by taking 6 energy drinks a day in. I want to make that clear. Make that one a little bit clear. All right, next question. Hi, Sclimbo. I'm a VTuber of the plushier variety in real life. An injury prevented me from working out for a long time, so everything's kind of weak now. What would you recommend doing to get started? I have little 5-pound weights in a stationary bike, but my stamina is so low. Well, it sounds like you got what you need. Just got to take it easy to start off, right? So do your stationary bike. You can do some full body routines with the weights, right? Almost like pseudo calisthenics or a circuit training type thing with the weights, where you can do like, you know, bench press with it. You can do rows with it. You can do overhead press with it. You can do lateral raises with it, squat with it. Obviously, you probably want to progress to getting higher weights, but that's a good thing to start with. But what I always tell people is just move. Moving is exercise. And just getting started in the habit of moving in the first place is really, really good. In fact, in many cases, this obviously does depend on overall like joint damage and size and stuff like that. But it might be dangerous to start running or anything too hardcore right away if you are on the bigger side, because it can put too much impact on your joints, right? So like, good example. Somebody who's 400 pounds probably shouldn't go for a run on concrete. That's probably a bad idea. It's probably more degradation to their joints than it is helpful. But what they should do is maybe go for a walk, a very long walk if they can, or an incline walk or something like that, right? So think about joint damage reduction. And that's not assuming big sizes. I'm just saying this is a side thing. But yeah, just start where you're at. Start with movement, start with walking, just get mobile and try to make it a habit. That comes first, is starting the habit. So it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to make a habit. Kind of commit to yourself that you're going to do something for 2 to 3 weeks. It becomes very easy, you know, make it part of your routine. So like 30-minute walking. Yeah. Walking, super underrated. It really is. It really is. Like, again, I think one of the biggest reasons why countries have differences in BMI on average is walking. I really think so. Like, obviously, there's a lot to diet. There's a lot to a mental state. There's a lot to lifestyle. But a lot of it really comes down to how much are people walking and moving versus each other. It's so huge. Bodyweight exercises are great for starting off. They really are. Modified push-ups, squats, etc. I usually like to see people get more than 5 pounds because, like, here's the thing. 5 pounds don't do much. I think in almost every scenario. The scenarios where 5-pound weights are useful are where people are coming out of atrophy, I would say. Like if people have had muscle atrophy, or if they have a disorder or something like that, there's like a medical issue, then I think 5-pound weights can do some good. But I think for the most part, almost every single person who is an adult can start higher. And they can get a lot of benefit out of starting higher. So I don't want people to overestimate the effect of 5-pound weights, because that's just really good for like kind of getting you out of like an atrophied situation or like a physical therapy situation. I think they're really good there. But for the most part, everybody should start trying to push their weights up, I think, a little bit. I think 10 pounds are a much more reasonable starting point for pretty much everybody. Because even somebody who has never worked out one day in their life, who's like 90 pounds, who has like almost no muscle on them, is going to be able to handle 10 pounds in a rep range that I think is going to be really good for them. So time to break out the kettlebell I've been scared of. Yeah, go for it. Absolutely. Yeah, 10K steps thing is a made-up number, but walking more in general is great. Yeah, 10K steps is a made-up number, but it is still a good guidepost. I will say, for a made-up number, they did pick a very good one. Now, will you get 90% of the benefit by doing 8K steps? Sure, yeah, absolutely. But I think it is a good round metric number where it's like, yeah, all right, cool, 10K. You just do it every day, bada boom, bada bing. But a better way to think about it is probably in time, because everybody's stride length is different, right? Everybody walks at different paces. So rather than saying 10K steps, maybe say walk for an hour and a half, something like that, right? That could be good too. That could be good too. Many ways, many paths. But yeah, that's my recommendation is, I think the 5-pound weights are good for maybe like just learning form. That could be good too. But I always kind of push people to up their weights. In fact, actually, I was talking to my mom yesterday morning about this, where my mom was talking about, she's been working out a lot more, and she's been doing like overhead press, stuff like that. I've been giving her exercises to do. And she says like, oh yeah, I've been using my 10-pound weights. And I was like, okay, mom, you've been using your 10-pound weights. Now, so by the way, my mom is, I believe she's in her mid 60s. And I was like, okay, cool. You're using your 10-pound weights. Awesome. You're doing sets, you know, all that stuff. How many reps are you doing? And my mom looked at me kind of like shyly, and she was like, I'm doing like, you know, like 12 reps per set. And I was like, cool, that's really good. How hard is it? And she's like, well, you know, it's like a little hard. And I was like, no, but like, how hard is it? And she's like, yeah, I could do a lot more. And I was like, up the weight, right? We're not playing around. The best thing you can do is go close to failure. Once you know your form and you're safe too. So regardless of age, regardless of any of that stuff, if you're capable of it, go higher. It's going to be overall more helpful. So, because at some point, right, if you're just doing 10 pounds and you have 20, if you have 25 reps in you and you're doing 12, you're not really going to get anywhere. You're going to be spinning your wheels. You're not going to have much muscle growth. So you got to keep pushing the envelope. And weight is a great way to do that. So is extra sets like we talked about earlier. All right, next question. All right, let's see here. When I'm doing lateral raises, my elbow joints are always perpendicular to the direction the weight is pulling. Hold on, I'm bad at visualization. Let me think about this. My elbow joints are perpendicular, okay, to the direction the weight is pulling, as opposed to where the joint would normally be swinging. And over time, it feels odd. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So you're doing... Wait, hold on. Are we talking about elbow joint? Are you talking about the fact that your elbow joint is rotating outwards versus like straight arm? Is that what you're saying? Like versus just like the joint motion of straightening your arm, it's going like rotation outwards, like an elbow rotation, deflection thing? Is there a decent way to do them in a way that avoids that? I asked my PT about it, but they didn't really have any advice to either doing them better. Let's see, to either doing them better or what does to the joint exactly. In combat sports, we take specific steps not to stress knee joints sideways. What should I do here? Okay, so considering you're saying knee joint sideways, you don't want to stress that sort of thing. The arm wants to swing horizontal, the weight wants to go downwards. Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying. So are you doing lateral raises with joints pointed forward while they lift to the side? Sorry, I'm very bad at visualization. Do not ever make me rotate anything. I cannot visualize things directionally in my mind. So this is really hard without seeing a picture because I don't know like what position you're describing. Are your arms bent when you're doing lateral raises? Like they're bent like you're running almost and then you're doing lateral raises, or are they straight out? Like you're doing lateral raises from the side? Because one thing I could recommend, no, straight. Okay, straight. The joints pointed forward while they lift to the side. Oh, are you saying they're having you rotate your elbows inward so the joint is... Hold on. Are you... Are you saying it's like the dumbbells are facing each other rather than facing forward and backward? Like you've rotated your arms and doing lateral raises that way? I'm trying to understand because I wouldn't do that. Yeah, take a picture. Sorry. I have very bad visual spatial understanding. I can't really, I have to look at it. Currently having multiple rest days since the weight I use is sort of difficult. Yeah, multiple rest days is totally fine. Let's see here. I will check fitness chat and let's see what this looks like so I can give some help. All right, I'm looking at the fitness chat. All right, I'll wait for it to show up. But in the meantime, what I can say is I don't know what it looks like just yet, but one thing you can do, if I were to say like, regardless of what you're doing, what a really good thing to do is, if you want to do lateral raises, is just do it on cable machines and do it like Egyptian style, right? So go to a cable machine, step out from the cable machine, grab an arm onto it and kind of lean outwards from it and do them that way and pull the cable across your body while doing lateral raises. That might help. That's like the kind of optimal way I would say to do lat raises. But yeah, lift like an Egyptian, but I'll wait for the picture because I cannot understand what's, unfortunately, I get the part about the knee joint sideways with martial arts. That makes a lot of sense. So I'm trying to extrapolate that to what that would mean for the elbow. And I'm not very good at it because every position I think of is really weird where it's like, wait, no one would ever have you lateral raise like that. Oh, okay. Let's see here. All right, here's the picture. All right, cool. I'm not going to put it on screen, but I have it. Uploaded. Thank you. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. Interesting. Yeah, you know what? It looks like your arm is more burned than mine would be. Yeah, it almost looks like your forearm. Here's what you should do. Okay, rather than going directly straight out, bend your arms slightly and let the weight drop a little bit more. Is what I would say. So think about lateral raise. Rather than being straight directly at your side, coming up with perfectly straight arms, bend your arms a little bit and do more of a wing motion, like you're flapping almost, and lean forward a little bit is what you could do. And that way it kind of like moves the axis that your shoulders are going to be coming up in and your elbows are going to be coming up in, and pushes it forward a little bit. And there's a slight bend to your hand, nothing crazy, but do like a slight bend to your arm to get that elbow joint situation sorted out. That should help out. Yeah, you don't necessarily need to do perfectly straight arms. I'm not sure what you mean. Okay, in the photo, it looks like your arm is perfectly straight, right? Like straight out to the side. Bend your arm just slightly. Bend your arm just slightly. And yeah, if I could, hold on. Oh, God, you know what? Here, Liz, I'm going to put a GIF in chat. I'm going to put a GIF in the Discord of what I mean in lateral raise form. Let me find one really quick. I'll also use visual cues here. Let's see if I can also show you some visuals. Where's a good one? Let's see here. Looking for a good example of what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is actually... no, I don't want that one. Oh, wow, it's hard to find a really good one here. Sorry about this, chat. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure I'm being accurate here. All right, this will kind of work. This photo, I'm going to put a GIF. This will kind of work, okay? So it's not perfect, but do you see how in this GIF, the plane that he is lifting in is a little forward rather than straight exactly to the side? Try doing that, is what I would say. So rather than directly to your side with the lift and with the way you're holding your weight, and maybe also hold it at the middle rather than hold at the edge. That could be a thing, but that could be like a hand thing. Yeah, that's more of an individualized thing. I would say it's kind of hard to describe it with. It's kind of hard to describe it. But yeah, take a look at that GIF I posted and see if that makes any sense. See if that makes any sense. That's one of those small form things where it's like I need to like be there in person to show you, or I need to have like a model. I need like a 3D model that I can bend on every axis so I can show everything properly. That would be another way to do it. Okay, let's see here. All right, if we don't have... You're not really seeing a difference. So on your image to me, looks like your arm is directly straight out. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But that's what yours looks like. That's what yours looks like to me. But if you're talking about, like, are you saying that the elbow joint... I'm sorry, I don't want to get sidetracked here too much on this. But... that is how you should be doing a lateral raise, more or less. So don't worry about any additional twisting of your elbow or anything like that. You are safe to do a lateral raise like that. But you're saying, are you saying it's hurting you, or are you just worried about it? Let me double check that. Over time, it feels odd. Yeah, maybe go cables. Maybe go cables. That might help fix your situation in particular. I think if you can, cables might solve this. Worried mostly? Yeah. It's not a problem for most people. Like that's a normal way to do that lift. You can absolutely just do it like that. But if you do have issues with the elbow joint there, you could try some slight rotations of your arm, but I'd also say try cables. Cables might be a good way to do it. All right, sorry for getting sidetracked there. That was a very visual question, and I had to be like, wait a sec. I didn't want to like show your photo on stream though, so sorry about that. All right, back to this. Here we go. All right, we're gonna go on ad break here because we have another ad break coming up just right now. And then when we come back, we'll probably do a little bit of Scrandle, Food Guesser, all that fun stuff, and see what else we got for today. But I will also give a little 4-minute break for people to ask questions if they'd like to, and for extra marshmallows to come in. So feel free to still ask any questions on the ad break. And then if we don't have anything when we come back, we'll go ahead and swap to our usual guessing games for Thursdays. All right, be right back, everybody. Med check, stretch, all that good stuff, and see you on the other side. BRB. All right, welcome back, everybody. I don't see any more questions, so I hope you had a little good break there. Let's scran. Let's hit some scran. Let's hit some food guesser. Let's hit some plate up. All the huge. I want to get back on my grind set. There's too many guessing games. I need to get good at them again. I've been thinking about time guesser a lot too recently, but let's hit a scrandle. Let's see what scrandle has for us today. What are we scranning? A good time for it too with the World Cup going on, right? I better see some good US scran is what I've been thinking. Let me make sure that the view actually works here. Time guesser. Yeah, I should do time guesser. We don't like have that as part of the rotation, but we should. We probably should. Yeah, scrandle. Ooh, Nutella crepe. Nutella crepe from Ireland. Wait. That chicken and rice is $150. And that's like a good portion too. Wait, what is this? SMR. Where is that? What country is SMR? Is that like maybe an island country? Oh god, it's so cheap though. We should have Panda Express money right now. Yeah, right. I haven't ordered out in a bit. San Marino is a microstate in Italy. Wow, for being Italy, I'm surprised chicken and rice is this cheap. I mean, that's the price I want to see on chicken and rice, but damn. All right, well, I'm taking that. I mean, the Nutella crepe goes crazy, but price efficiency there is just insane. Okay, now, oh, cool. We have radioactive Red Bull. I like how it says fried chicken with blues cheese dip and a glowing coconut Red Bull vodka. Like, specify that it's glowing. It's also $30 because it's glowing, I guess. Versus Polish sausage and chips. Now, interestingly, this is from Sweden. We got fried chicken and blue cheese from Sweden for a lot of money. It's good. Sausage and chips looks good. Again, French fries, not chips. Let's be clear. But yeah, we'll take that one. As for over here, what do we have? We have swirl ice cream. Ooh, it does look kind of good. Served in a small commemorative helmet. That's I almost said Canada. It's Canada. And popcorn chicken and curly fries. Seems like a decent sized bucket. 16 pounds. This is US, of course. Sporting Kansas City 2023. Ooh, it's a lot of money. I mean, yummy ice cream for one, but big chimgin for another. Looks like a lot of it too. I'm going to go here because it looks like a lot of it. I'm a sticker for a lot of stickler. That's the word, not sticker. That's different. I'm a stickler for like having a lot of low quality food, but a lot of it sounds like kind of a good deal to me. All right, over here we have SLV. Don't know where that is. Steak and sausage with rice and beans. SLV. Very cheap though. Over here from England, we have salt and pepper chicken. Okay, I would hope so. I don't know. Do they not season it for the rest of it? They got salt and pepper chicken. I really hope so. Versus what? Nothing? Unseasoned chicken? That's a nice sausage right there, though. Damn. And steak. Oh, whoa, wait, hold on. I didn't see the whole steak behind it. It's not San Marino anymore, but it's SLV. I'm not sure where that is. But I didn't see the entire steak behind it. Yeah, we go entire steak. Thank you. We go entire whole steak. Over here in Arsenal, we have a chicken burger with chips. 1080. Sure. It looks kind of pathetic. Where's the actual chicken, though? Probably salt and pepper after it's cooking for more of the raw flavor. Yeah, maybe. And then sausage and bacon cap, which is not a sandwich, apparently, with crackling on the side. Don't know what that is, but I would eat it. It's also 6 pounds versus 10. I don't see the chicken on this burger. Seems chickenless. Maybe is that small patty right there? It's El Salvador. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. We're going over here. All right, what do we got? Hell yeah, Chicago Fire. Pizza slice with a can of beer for $15. No, thank you. Or a cheeseburger from Australia for $7.80. Ooh, I just got hit with like the craziest craving of all time. I just got absolutely slapped in the face. You ever get the, like, okay, actual Akira mode? Like Akira, leave me alone joke. I just had like a flash in my mind of me a few hours from now eating a whole pizza while watching Project Hail Mary on the couch. Because I got told by my mom that, like, I guess it's on streaming now or something. I didn't get to see it. I just had like a bing, like one frame flash of me with an entire pizza on the couch tonight watching that. And I'm like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't be naughty, but oh, that's tempting. Seeing pizza triggered me. Do it, it'll be worth it. Yeah, noise. I got mad food noise right then. That was crazy. It hit me like a truck. Yeah, it's a good Thursday. Yeah, it's a good Thursday. I haven't decided what we're doing on stream tomorrow, but we're very much going to play video games. We're very much going to play video games tomorrow. Wait, Saturday? Pig Day? Wait, what's... Oh, okay. Are we calling it Pig Day? I was like, is that a real day or is that a term we're using for me eating from the trough? Because sure, you're right. You're right. I do have a collab on Saturday, though. Maybe Sunday, but I'm working that. Tonight I have off, sort of. I have a meeting, but that's about it. So that's what you call your fat day. That's fair. That's fair. I don't know if I deserve one of those days right now, though. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, tomorrow we're probably going to be playing stuff because we haven't been like playing a lot of games recently. Like we had Minecraft going and we had the UFO files and we have our Pokemon and stuff like that. But we haven't played any like other games recently. So I kind of want to play something tomorrow. It is a very sad pizza slice. It's also $15. I'm going to call it dollars because it's easier and I'm an American, damn it. I'm not paying $15 for one can of beer. Ooh, that looks good. Ooh, that looks really good. Salt and chili chips, chicken goujons, chili, spring onion, grilled pepper, onions with curry sauce versus sausage roll. Sausage roll. That looks really good. I'm going there every time. Look, that sauce looks incredible. Okay, what is this? What is this? Hey, Nuna. Sausage, chips, and curry sauce. I mean, curry sauce is good. This is from Wales, not the UK. And a hollowed cob of what? Bread? Oh, it looks like a bread. Okay. Versus Modelo Michelada. It's a Modelo. It's a $17 Modelo. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, bread bowl. Looks awesome. Looks awesome. Yeah, don't ever do mushy peas. Sausage roll, sure. Mushy peas, no way. Hold on. Japan's entered the party. Hold on. We got the Miyazaki Prefecture local bento box. What the heck is that bento? It's from Miyazaki. All right, put some respect on the name. This is Kyushu. This is Eastern Kyushu, Miyazaki Prefecture. With famous towns such as... I think Hyuga is in there. Is that in Miyazaki? Or is that... I think Hyuga's in Miyazaki. I think it is. They ain't stadium food in the West. It's cheating. No. We can scran in Japan. We're allowed to scran in Japan. Tokyo Giants got this. It's the Miyazaki bento box. What do we got here? We have little tiny tempura. We have some sort of meat. A dumpling. We got rice. We got like a steamed thing here. Not bad. Not bad. Teriyaki pork, maybe. Maybe it is. However, the Korean giant teriyaki pork skewer for $2.90 is obviously getting the win here. I'm usually preferential to bento, but you got me there, Korea. You got me there. We got crapple chin. Oh, hell yeah. I love crapple. Sounds so appetizing. Crapple from Leipzig. And we have the chicken flatbread from England with some good sauce on it. Probably like a yogurt-based sauce. Fried dough with powdered sugar. It does sound good. Yeah, pickled foods didn't look that great. I'm like usually okay with pickled food. But yeah, flatbread looking kind of crazy. Let's go there. Despite being called crapple, it does look very good. Okay. Now hold on. We're being tricked here. This is the vegan pie and chips, but if you've been here before, you know something about England. There are mushy peas in here somewhere. They're hiding. They might be in the pie. It's a vegan pie. They might be hiding in there, and I'm a little worried that they are. Versus the double cheeseburger and chips from England. What on earth is a vegan pie? So normally this is like the meat pie in England you get with like the chips and the mushy peas. I'm not convinced. I think they're hiding in there. I think the mushy peas are hiding in there. Like 100%. I'm not taking it. We're going burger. Not about it. I also made blue revolvers. I'm a gentle scranner today. A gentle scranner. A slight scran. All right, on to food guesser. We got plate off as well. Actually, let's start with plate off. Because it's more similar. Mushy peas are so nasty. You don't have to tell me twice. All right, which one are we looking for? We got Svenge or Agio Blanco. Ooh, we got little things in there. Which one was more like... This is Morocco versus Spain. What is Svenge? Fried donut characterized by a simple airy texture and crisp golden exterior. Oh, by the way, forgot to tell you everybody on stream today because I'm not going to do it tomorrow. We are going to look at the UFO files in drop number 3. We're going to do that right after food guesser. I did want to get that done today. I do have it up already, but we're going to look at number 3 because it's a lot shorter. So we will look at UFO files today too, because I missed them while I was away. And then this is blanched almonds and stale bread. Oh, okay. In water, blend them with garlic, olive oil, and a splash of vinegar. Okay, sure. Chill in the refrigerator. Serve cold. What? Is it a soup? It's a soup. Huh. Okay. Versus like fried donut. Okay, super fried donut. I'm going soup. Yeah, easy. We got tea punch from St. Bartholomew, Guadeloupe, Martinique. These are islands, I believe, right? And then Mekong from Vietnam. What is this? Rice noodles and pork. As you do. Crushed peanuts, rice crackers. Vibrant cocktail. Yeah, I know what I'm taking. Sorry, drinks. You'll never win. Not in Sclim's house. Look at all that lime. I'm looking at the lime. I'm thinking about the lime. I do have trouble exiting this out. I think I need to like make it bigger or something. Here, I always reload in this case. Reloading. We're taking 89%. Sure. And we have semla and coquito lebanego, which is from Spain. Looks like chickpeas. And some sort of dessert, maybe? From Finland and Estonia. Hey, Sean. What do we got? Pastry, cardamom spice sweet bun. You know, I've had cardamom pastries recently before. I wasn't a big fan of them. But I do like this peasant dish over here. And it says that. I'm not saying that. It says that. It's chickpeas, pork ribs, chorizo, blood sausage, black pudding, ham, cabbage, carrots, and potatoes. It's half of a full English breakfast. In your face. We're taking it. Really? Okay. Surprising. Nice sweat bun. Oh, sweat buns. Yeah. Whoa, what is that? Ooh, that looks like baked cheese. It's, forgive me, Lepa Justo versus Kui Kukur from Indonesia, Brunei, and Malaysia. We got over here. Wait, what does that mean? It's a traditional squeaky cheese? I want my cheese squeaky. Lampus, last resort mentioned. I want my cheese squeaky. Waiter, can I have it squeaky? What does that even mean? Is that like a texture thing, or is that just saying that when you rub it together, it goes, er-ee? Like, what are we doing? What's a squeaky cheese? Do mice like it? Like halloumi? I don't know. I don't know what a squeaky cheese means. Mild, slightly sweet flavor, distinctive caramelized crust. It's crafted from cow or goat milk, baked or grilled to golden brown. Sounds crazy good, actually. Makes a squeaky sound beneath your teeth when you chew. Squeaky cheese curds are the only acceptable way to eat poutine. What? But why are they squeaky? Why are they called that? What's the lore? I'm missing this. And then over here we have rice flour, palm sugar, and water in a batter. And then browning some edges. Fried pieces are drained on paper towels. Remove excess oil. I mean, the cheese looks insane. It's like a pie of cheese. And there's some sort of jam on top, maybe? When you eat them, it squeaks. I mean, yeah, I want the squeaky cheese. I do want to try the squeaky cheese. I'm a big fan, actually. I'm a big fan. I think so. Sounds irritated in a compulsive way. Yeah, honestly. Go to Quebec and have some poutine, you'll understand. You know, I did. Long time ago, but... Alright, we got Saboro Pang, which is... And we have Andong Jjimdak. Both from Korea. We got a double Korea here. Some people love the squeak, some people hate it. You gotta love the squeak. There's peanut butter in this. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. They use peanut butter in Korea? Hi, fat loser. Welcome in. Cheeseburger. Agreed. They use... Hold on. They use peanut butter in Korea. That's news to me. That's really big news to me. Because I know when I was in Japan, I couldn't find peanut butter. I had to go to a specialty store. As far as I knew, they didn't really use peanut butter in Asia. Because that's like an American invention, right? As far as I know, they didn't use peanut butter in most recipes. There are peanut recipes, right? Like peanut sauce in Thai and using peanuts in stuff. But peanut butter specifically, I've never seen that in an Asian dish. Probably a replacement. Oh, maybe. Yeah, hint of peanut butter. Huh. I mean, I like peanut butter. I'm a big fan. It's like my favorite food ever. English recipe. I'm going to take it. Sorry. The other one is too many vegetables. Looks great. Sorry. Love me some peanut butter. Okay, then we have Pan and Koik and Maun Tang. Again, Korea. I've seen this before. This is like it's like a pancake. Wait a second. I said pan and cake. Does this not just say pen and cake? If I were to do it with like the proper pronunciation, does this just say pancake? Yeah, doesn't that just mean pancake? Hold on a second here. It's a pancake. And we have a spicy fish stew on the other side. I do like fish. I do like stew. But gotta go simple here. I think I want pancake. Seems too complex for me. Too many vegetables. You know which country it's from? Well, true total loss. It does show it. And we got Pampushka here versus Ravi Toto from Madagascar. Never seen Madagascar food. This is good info here. It's boiling chopped cassava leaves until tender, saute crushed garlic, mix in pieces of pork, let everything simmer. No, that's okay. That's okay. Whatever it is, we're going over here. And we have Tawan Masara from Cameroon, Ghana, and Niger. And we have Tinu Tuan from Indonesia. I don't know what that soup base is. Looks very soupy. It looks like some chicken here. Both are pretty unique. Let's see. Maize flour. Okay. Got maize flour over here into little balls. And then over here we have porridge. It is a porridge. Rice with various vegetables. Peanut butter can be dated back to the Aztecs. I think the US invented it, actually. Just like every other food in existence. I think that's a fake news, and it's ours. Pretty sure. Let's see here. God, which one do I want? I guess I go here. We got cow fat from Thailand and merveilles from what is Jersey? Wait, is Jersey an island off the Greek coast? I think that's Jersey, right? There's an island of Jersey. I've never seen it. It's not, doesn't say New Jersey, so I don't think it's ours. Pretty sure this is like Jersey as in the island. As in like in the Odyssey Island, Jersey or something. Deep fried pastries resembling donuts without the center hole, prepared using flour. Okay, they're donuts. And this is a rice meal made with jasmine rice, eggs, chicken, shrimp, or beef. It looks a lot like a fried rice, but not fried. Old Jersey, yeah, old Jersey. My cooking averse self is recoiling at the cooking. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing these cookings, don't get me wrong. It looks a little bit like fried rice, though, and I like it. So I'm going to go here. An island in the UK. Okay. We have Kaware from Egypt and Odinin El Khadi from Tunisia. Looks like some sort of sweet versus maybe organs. Maybe organs. Cow or sheep trotters. Okay, does that mean feet as in trotters as in grippers, or does that mean something else? Gelatinous. Just what I want. Gelatinous meats. No, we're not picking that. And then pastries. Sure, the other one wins. Sorry. Not a big fan of gelatinous meat. Not gonna be doing that today. Not gonna be doing that today. Trotters are feet. Okay, so it is like grippers. Okay. Pig feet. Got it. Nice. Let's do actual food guesser. Lock in, everybody. You know what time it is. Oh, it's eggplant. Oh, no. Don't have that. I don't want to see that. Eggplant, rice, onions, ground meat, butter, salt, black pepper, tomatoes, parsley, mint. Optional. Garlic, saffron, tomato paste, lemon juice. Ooh, I don't know. We do have meat in here. We have eggplant as well. Maybe turkey? Sumac. Evil dish. It is kind of an evil dish. Can they grow eggplant in the north? I'm not sure actually where eggplant grows. Lebanon food? Yeah, I could see Lebanon. I could actually see Lebanon. The mint and the sumac make me wonder if it's northern, but saffron wouldn't be. Saffron's in here. It's kind of weird. I'm getting mixed messages, which makes me think, should we not just go Brazil? Yes, we should. Yes, we should. South America, Hail Mary. Let's go. Saffron's Europe? Okay, maybe I'm being a fool. Dex seems pretty confident about that. But I feel like you know what? For me, let's do it for me. For the gram, right? Okay, ice cold. It is Europe. It is Europe. Maybe go Turkey? I tend to go Turkey a lot, but all right, we'll take it. Dolmasi, Bademeken Dolmasi. It borders to the east, Turkey, which gives us, drum roll, Syria, Iraq, Azerbaijan, Armenia, or Georgia. That's a lot of places. That is unfortunately quite a few places. It's looking a little more south, though. So let me go, or Iran. It's Iraq or Iran. You know what? Let me go Iran. I'm going to go Iran. Nope, it's Iraq. It's Iraq. It's not. It's not. That's not fair. No. All right, what are they saying? It's northeast of Turkey. It's northwest of Iran. Northwest. Okay, it's one of the three. It's Georgia, Armenia, or Azerbaijan. I'm gonna go Azerbaijan. Yeah, okay, cool. Brazil mentioned, so true, Rando. So true. Glutinous rice. I don't thought I said gluttonous rice. Gluttonous rice. Duck or chicken eggs, fried shallots, shredded coconut, dried shrimp, red chilies. All right, so we have shrimp. It's a street food. We have coconut and we have shrimp. And we have eggs, including duck eggs. I feel like we have a problem here. Could be Southeast Asia, could also be the Caribbean, could also be coastal South America. Which one do we choose? Because, oh boy, chilies are in here. So maybe it is South America. South American street food, maybe Argentina? Argentina? Nope, very not. Okay, let's go to Southeast Asia instead. Let's go to Vietnam. No, I want to go more island. Let's go to Malaysia. Okay. Borders to the south. Got it. Got it. I think we're just Indonesia then. We're just Indonesia. Bada boom. Nice. Karaktalor. That is, what is that? We have giant corn, sugar, vegetable oil, water is optional. Cool. Food coloring and cinnamon. It's a sweet crunchy street snack made by puffing giant corn kernels. This isn't... No, wait, what? Hold on. This isn't popcorn. It resembles oversized popcorn. Yeah, it's like corn chips. Sugary glaze or syrup. Popular light treat commonly sold in large bags at local street markets and festivals. I would almost go out for a US on this one, but I think this might be South America. I think this one's for sure South America. Or just Mexico. Could be Central America. Yeah, corn nuts. Do I want to go Central or South America? It's not popcorn, apparently. It looks like oversized popcorn. Let me hit like a Peru and just see where we're at. Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take Peru, Bolivia. Easy guess. Not actually, but we'll take that. That rocks, actually. First try. We love to see it. All right, we got molasses, clarified butter, dried milk, nutmeg, cardamom, cloves. Okay, we have nutmeg and cardamom immediately going India first. Easy. Double one guess, Sclim. Hot dogs, hot dog sausages, hot dog buns, avocado, tomato, mayonnaise, sauerkraut, ketchup. Okay, hold up. Who invented this hot dog? Is this going to be a US thing? Or is this not going to be a US thing? It's a hot dog. Well, okay, here's the problem, though. I feel like they're going to steal it from us. There's a lot going on here, right? Because it's like, it's a hot dog, but... It's a hot dog, but... There's sauerkraut in here. There's also chili peppers. There's also avocado. Really weird to have avocado, mayo, and sauerkraut. It makes me think this is like Japan or something. I really don't know. California dog. The thick mayonnaise is really throwing me off. I mean, let's think about who uses mayonnaise, right? Not everybody does. Chili peppers too. I don't know. I really don't know. All of this stuff is in the US. Sauerkraut's a little rarer, but Japan would do this. That's my thought process. Japan would do this. The sauerkraut... The avocado is the weird part about Japan, though. I think if it was Japan, we wouldn't see avocado here. Now, if you showed me this and there was no avocado, I would go Japan number one. But I think the avocado means no Japan. I think. Let's see. A mustard and ketchup. Soft bun, topped with an array of ingredients. I feel like I gotta eliminate the obvious here. And just like, let me get rid of like US first. Because I don't think it is, but let me get rid of the US here. Okay, US is ice cold. So, it's pointing south. I'm going for it. Ooh, okay, all right. Argentina. Borders. Okay, it was South America. Tricky. Is this Peru again? There's no way, right? Or is it Chile? Wait, borders, so it's Chile. Tricky. Did not expect to see mayo on Chile. Beef brisket, garlic, salt, pepper, onion, bay leaves, lard, tortillas, cilantro, lime, and pinto beans. We go Mexico. Straight up. Easy. Suadero. Completo. Cabbage, cannelli beans, carrot, celery, onion, garlic, olive oil, stale bread. All right, we got something going on here. We got zucchini. Are we going France, Italy, or Greece? Pick your poison. Cabbage, cannelli beans, carrot. I mean, that sounds Italian. Zucchini's here. Stale bread. This is an Italian. This has got to be Italian. Italy. Ooh, we're killing it. Pork knuckle, water, salt, pepper, onion, garlic, bay leaves, clovers, juniper berries. Crap. When we've seen juniper berries before. Wait, juniper berries plus sauerkraut means Austria or Germany, right? Yeah, I gotta go Germany here. Nice. That might have been the best play we've ever had. Gastronomical genius. That might have been the best one we've ever had. That was 23,500 out of 2,500. Absolutely clean on that one. Let's do it again. That was super clean. This is not a cheesecake. This is a cheese. And I'm going to go France. See? Octopus is in here. Vinegar. Almost as clean as you could get using code VTuber mail at Cheeky Soap. Very true. Octopus, vinegar, garlic, onions, bay leaves, olive oil, white wine, paprika. Okay. Octopus stew with paprika. And there's olive oil. And there's rice on this plate, but it's not listed here, so let's be careful about that. Yeah, that was the easy one. That was an easy one. I'm worried that this is Malta. I'm kind of worried this is like Malta or something. Hey, Leo, welcome in. It is giving Greece. The olive oil is the octopus. I mean, I guess they would use octopus. Rice or potatoes. I'm almost like, is this an island? Is this a trick? Is this Malta or something? Let's go Greece, though. Let's eliminate, you know, Occam's razor, this thing. Greece is cold. That's really tricky if Greece is cold. That means it's on continent, but nowhere close. Which means... Is it Spain? Or is it like Tunisia or something? No, I feel like Tunisia might be warm. Unless... Maybe it's Tunisia. Should I try for Tunisia? Hey, Days, thank you for the streak. Spain, Portugal. Let me just like throw a Tunisia. That is cool. Okay, yeah, it's Spain. It's Spain, Portugal. Spain, Portugal. Oh, no, it's not. It's Morocco. Or Algeria. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hold on, what's West? I was worried this might be Africa. Western Sahara? What? It's no, it's gotta be a coast. It's octopus. Mauritania? Cape Verde. Damn it. Damn it. Oh, I never would have gotten it. It's Cape Verdean. Oh, okay. Okay. That's hard. That's a hard one. All right, we got, yogurt's in play. Let's go. We have ghee and mint as well. This is probably India, but hold on. Rice, chicken, yogurt, onions, ginger, garlic, green chilies, coriander, mint, ghee, cumin, coriander, many garam masala. Yeah, let's just go India. Let's just go India. How about biryani? Shrimp paste, rice, pork, dried shrimp, green mango, cilantro, red onion, cucumber, long beans. That's a descriptor. Sugar, fish sauce, garlic, egg, sausage. Fish sauce, sugar, shrimp paste. Yeah, I think Thai. Thai or Philippines? Let me go Thai, number one. Nice, good call. Ground beef, bulgur. I don't know what bulgur is. Onion, tomato paste, pepper paste, garlic, egg, olive oil, cumin, parsley, paprika, mint. Spiced lamb or beef meatballs. This could be Georgia. This could be Lebanon. This could be Middle East. Hungary. Anything in a huge zone. Served with flatbread. This is like all here. Many things in here, I feel like. Ground beef, tomato paste, pepper paste. Okay, pepper. We have olive oil, cumin, parsley. Let me throw turkey just because olive oil, right? Nice. Fire meatballs. Don't call it that, but nice. Another super foodie. We love to see it. Keep the streak going. What is streak mode? Okay, well, it doesn't want to do that. So play again. Let's go. Abalone. That's a fish, right? Shark fin. Shark fin soup. A Jinhua ham pork. The shark fin soup is Chinese, isn't it? And I see Jinhua ham anyway, so. Buddha jumps over the wall. Buddha's temptation. I've heard of this before. Bullet duro. Bread. Linguiça. Fiambre. Pork. Okay, this might be Brazil. Brazil is cold. Thanks for the follow, Leah. Brazil is cold, but not ice cold, which is interesting because its northeast is an island. Because if it's not ice cold, it can't be a different continent, can it? Maybe it has to be. Maybe that's considered cold because of the jump there, even though it's like pretty damn far. Maybe it's North Africa? But it's Linguiça. Huh. I have no idea. Brazil's only cold. Let me throw like, I don't know, Mexico? I feel like that shouldn't be just cold though. No, it's ice cold. I have no idea. France is in the name. Let's go France. No. Let's go Morocco again? Mauritania? Yeah, you know what? This one might be Mauritania because that was a French colony, wasn't it? It was Portugal. Damn. Damn. Flour, water, cabbage, onion, garlic, cilantro, ground meat, soy sauce, turmeric. Okay. Is this going to be the Caucasus one? Might be the Caucasus one. Chinese just on set. Oh, soy sauce is here. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. Soy sauce is here. This is not the Caucasus one. This is not Chinese, but borders to the west-south. So we're going to go Vietnam. Let's go Vietnam. Be many things, but let's go Vietnam. It's Momo. Okay. Not Vietnam. What language would be like Momo? Bhutan? Nepal? Myanmar? Myanmar borders. Okay. So that's going to be Bangladesh. Bangladesh is also... Is it just India? Am I going to cry? It was India all along. It was Bhutan, Nepal, and India. Okay. We got trolled. All-purpose flour, semolina, butter, oil, sugar, water, lemon juice, walnuts. We have Walmart nuts and cinnamon. Semolina, semolina. I don't know where that's from. I really don't. Pistachios are here, though. That's kind of cool. Like a nut bread. Nut bread. It's like baklava. Kind of does, doesn't it? Kinda does. Let me hit a turkey. Easy. It's kalburabasti. Rice flour, chickpeas, spring onions, and quail eggs. Quail eggs. I don't know where the quail actually live. I'm going to be so honest. Let me throw like, I don't know, New Zealand. Is that where quails are from? Nope. Okay, let me throw... Where are quails in Myanmar? Okay, well, that's a pretty specific guess. So, hey, good job. Good job, Fleffel. Damn. Takoyaki pan? I don't think so. I don't think so. Not like that. Not like that. Hell yeah. No, good guess. Good guess. Okay. 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 What do we got here? Let me check for more marshmallows, but we might just go to UFOs now. Oh, it said takoyaki pan in the description. That's crazy, actually. They tried to trick you. They've tried to trick us all. So I got some goods here, you guys. I got some goods. Do you wanna UFO it up a little bit? Just hold on, let me change the title if I'm doing this. Fitness and just chatting. UFO Files 3. This one's a lot shorter. Let's take a look. It's UFO time. Hold on, let me like on a different screen for this, actually. Intergalactic, extraterrestrial. Oh, let's just get rid of that. And we'll make it a little bit bigger. We'll increase the size just a tad. Is the opinion this is true and real? I mean, it's true and real in the sense that these are real videos. Udemika. If that helps. But like the videos are real. That is true. But what they depict is speculation, right? That's the difference. So it's Pentagon. My guess is that this is all the RO stuff, or at least some of the RO stuff. All right, let's take a look over here. So a lot smaller this time, only 6 pages instead of like 19. This was on June 12th while I was away, so we didn't get a chance to look at these yet. Let's UFO it up. Let's see what we got going on here. We're not going to look crazy, but there's some videos. Looks like 4.6 gigs of them, and documents. This one's from Harare. Placement on high alert due to perceived aggressive foreign posturing. Yo, I'm always about aggressive foreign posturing. And then, okay, so this is a report. Individuals debated if the sighting was an advanced recon device of a foreign government or of extraterrestrial origins. Ooh, I don't know what hitting download's going to do, so let me just do this really quick and then hit download. See if it just opens it. Okay, cool. It just opens it. Take a look. Yeah, Harare, Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe mentioned. All right, let's see here. To White House Situation Room. Oh, wow. Okay. Damn. From the CIA. Let's see. Not finally evaluated intelligence warning. Sensitive intelligence sources and methods involved. In Zimbabwe in 2006. Let's see. Oh, a bunch of redactions here. Unidentified object hovering at high altitude over the Harare International Airport. Oh, I've heard of this before. Wait, I've heard of this incident before. This is a known UFO incident over Harare. Okay. I forget the details on this one, but I remember hearing about this. This is like a known UFO story that's made its rounds in like ufology about a Harare encounter. This must be the report about it. Okay, over the airport. A lot of people saw this one apparently. Beams are observed emanating from the object. Debated whether the object was an advanced recon device or whether an object was an unidentified flying object of extraterrestrial origins. Disc-like in shape with a hollow center, had a series of rotating lights on the underside of the airframe. Oh, that's pretty, that's pretty straight up, ain't it? That's pretty UFO right there. Damn. After a period under observation from the ground, the rotating lights under the object shifted colors, and the object quickly ascended to higher altitudes and out of visual range. Regardless of the origins, this incident, redacted, had resulted in the decision to place the Zimbabwe, redacted, on high alert. Yeah, kind of on the nose. Kind of on the nose. But, I mean, what we do know here is it was serious enough for them to send a message to the Situation Room in Washington, D.C., and are like, guys, a lot of people saw this shit at the airport. So no videos apparently. Maybe there's a video later on of the Harare one, to be fair. But interesting. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right, what else we got? It is always nice to see like supporting documentation from something people have already talked about. Because it's like, oh yeah, people spoke about that one. I remember hearing about that one. That's kind of cool. I wonder what's in the Situation Room. Situations. This one's Department of War. So this is recent. U.S. Army Flying Saucer Study, 1949. Okay, so it's recent Department of War about 1949. Ooh, I love these. These are so cool. Yeah. Declassified. 1949. And stuff, this is like right after Roswell, right? Was Roswell 48 or was it 50 something? I forget. But it's a report about a lot of them. A lot of these we're not going to go through like detail by detail, but it is cool to see them and you can go check them out on your own. I'm mostly here to look at the videos, which we will get to, but it's also cool just like kind of seeing the documents. Yeah, this is an overall report. Detailed investigation of all incident reports. Usual flying objects during the period of June 1948 to date have been conducted by a special project. Let's see. What do we got? Air Force Command, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio. Yo, the one thing I do love about this, the one thing I, wait, hold on. What's that say? Formerly Project Rand. What I love about these documents though, is that back in the day, they used to say these weren't real, right? Like the UFO lore in the 90s and 80s and stuff was like, oh, the government never had a UFO program. They never, nah, it's all fake, right? And then here are the documents where they're like, yeah, we had a program, we had a name for it, we had a location for it. And funny enough, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is where they always have it. Like in the lore, in the UFO lore, it was always Wright-Patterson Air Force Base that had a lot of stuff. That was like a mysterious, ooh, that might be where they're keeping flying saucers, right? So it's really cool to see the official documents be like, yep, Wright-Patterson, that's where it is. You know, that's where the reports took place. We had a unit on it. Very cool. Very cool. Kind of legitimizes a lot of that stuff that people were talking about back in the day. I mean, we're way past that now, but still cool. They're hiding Bricken from us. I think they are. I think you're right, Hirsch. Yeah, there's nothing in Ohio was a psyop all along. It really was. Really was. So true. All right, what do we got here? We got Colorado Springs unresolved from, let's see here. When is this from? 2022. Ooh, the 2022 one here. Let's see. First-hand narrative description of unidentified anomalous phenomenon near Colorado Springs. I don't care too much about these because these are just individual interviews. There's no like big report or multiple sightings behind them. It's just individual stuff. Digital rendering unresolved UAP report. Okay, so here's the rendering of what the guy described seeing in Colorado. But again, not an actual picture. Just what the guy described seeing. The aliens are unfortunately very high in protein, so their existence has to be hidden. It's true, I would eat aliens. If you gave me the choice, I would give it a shot. True. Digital rendering. Northeastern orb sighting in, when was this? 2026. Yo, we got current year orb sightings. Love to see it. But this is just an interview. Incidents potentially involving unidentified anomalous phenomenon. But they're being interviewed by the FBI. Why is that? Why are these people credible enough to interview, I wonder? Let's see. Not eat out the gray? No, I would. I would eat the gray, not eat out the gray. That's very different. All right, so here's a random person who got interviewed for some reason by the FBI. And they have a bachelor's degree in economics. Wow. They are the residents. They found orbs, so on and so forth. The interesting part about that is, why is the FBI interviewing these people? Right? I don't think the FBI would interview literally every person that called them for like, hey, I saw a UFO. So there's probably some credibility that he saw something or something was reported in the sky and they're taking interviews. That's probably what's likely there. Correspondence referral. Let's see. J. Edgar Hoover and Charles Barnes concerning Barnes' account of an incident potentially involving UFOs. 4 beams of light converging in the Cascade Mountains at an altitude of 10,000 feet with great explosion. Talking about J. Edgar Hoover, all that cool stuff. Wow. All right, northeast orb sighting. The videos are usually towards the end. Orbs over the pond. Oh, video. Oh boy. Okay, first video. Lock in. Lock in. Let's see. Was that the right one though? Let me make sure I didn't miss any. That was that. That was the referral. 1949. Here we go. We got a video. Let's rock. Let's see what we got if we make it big. All right, that's a whole lot of nothing I can tell. But it is doing this weird thing that all of these things on video do, where it kind of like fluctuates. You know how it does this like weird pulsing thing? At least it's a color camera this time, but it just looks like a weird dot out in the clouds. It's not doing it. I mean, I guess hovering in place is kind of weird, but drones exist and this is modern, so this is like 2024. And let's see. Hold on. We have a description. Let's see if there's anything interesting here. Hovering over a pond, 2,700 feet. It separates, they say. Weird dot you can see in the cloud is odd. It really is, but it says sits there for 45 minutes. Captured by a private person on an iPhone. No sound. Okay, well, that is interesting. No sound. Drones do make sound. I don't know if you'd hear it at 2,700 feet, though. So it's not the most compelling thing, but it is kind of cool. Here's more northeastern orb sightings. Ooh, hello. 9 p.m. local time in the Northeast United States. Whereabouts? Doesn't say where. Bright lights in their backyard. Ooh, that's spooky. Brilliant red sphere about 1 meter in diameter. Using an iPhone 14 Pro Max, they recorded this. This observation occurred within 24 miles of the triangle orbs, 25 miles of the triangle orbs, red orb rotation, and orbs over the pond sightings. Okay, so this was all happening. Wait, these are the Jersey UFOs. I think these are the New Jersey drones, right? All the weird stuff that was happening in Jersey last year. Because look, this is July last year, northeastern United States, and they're saying all of these are happening right next to each other. These are probably the 2025 drones. And orb sightings, I bet. The ones that everyone was freaking out about in Jersey. That were like coming out over the ocean and stuff. Must be what these are. Pretty cool. We still didn't figure out what the hell that was about. That was kind of neat. An angular, non-symmetrical potato. Yep, someone reporting that. Scientific Advisory Panel on Unidentified Flying Objects. 1952. Ooh. Spooky. See here. A morbid national psychology could be exploited by adversaries to incite hysterical behavior. Oh, they're just saying they want to debunk it. Oh, look at this. To mitigate these risks, the panel recommended an official policy of debunking to strip the UFO subject of its mystery. Oh, wow. So this is a document that's showing them actively being like, deny them, deny UFOs. Don't say they're real. That's crazy. We have that document now. The actual document where they're like, don't tell anybody. Deny it on purpose. You didn't miss anything, Min. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. 75 case histories of sightings, 1951 to 52. 75 sightings, but in 1 year. Wow. Wow. Lesbian aliens? Could be. Could be. Project Stork. Code name for Battelle Memorial Institute. Ooh, wait, hold the phone. That's interesting. I don't think I've heard of Project Stork before, but I have heard of Battelle Memorial Institute. If I remember correctly, Battelle is actually, in modern days, said to be connected to all this UFO stuff because they get really weird, huge, like, grants from the US government and don't seemingly put out anything. I remember, like, a few years ago, people were like, hey, why is this place called Battelle Institute getting billions of dollars in contracts and then nothing comes out of them? And people were pretty sure they found one in, like, the Black Project sites, and Battelle was one of them. This is the 50s, and they're mentioning Battelle here in the process of a UFO report. That's pretty cool. That's interesting. No, that didn't escape my notice. Hello, Battelle. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Project Grudge I've heard about before. Yeah, and Project Blue Book. Yeah, all that stuff was real. That's crazy. Just woke up after going to bed at 7 p.m. last night. Damn, Arcane. If you're in my time zone, that's rough. Hope you had a good sleep. Hope everything's okay. Motion picture films of sightings at Tremont, Utah. Oh, wow. They're referencing... They have old UFO videos from the 50s. Whoa. Oh, I wish we could see that. I'm sure they're bad quality, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, Battelle being referenced here is actually super interesting. That's kind of cool. I wish there was... Is there, like, more about that? There probably is somewhere in here. I should look through these on my own. These rock. These are so cool. All right, let's see here. That's the panel. The Central Intelligence Agency and Overhead Reconnaissance, the U-2 and Oxcart programs, 54 to 74. High Altitude Recon, that's the U-2. In the Soviet Union. Let's see here. Oh, this doesn't have anything to do with UFOs, but it got released, I guess. Kind of cool. More. Case. Oh, that's case 17708 closed. Very mysterious. A phone conversation with Dr. Leon Davidson regarding concerns about a destroyed space message and its transmitter. Wait, what? Wait, what? Where? Wait, we have contacted Dr. Davidson by telephone, advising him that we cannot resolve his problem concerning the space message and its transmitter because records on the matter have been destroyed by the evaluating agency. Huh? What are we talking about? Whoa, back up. What are we talking about? Davidson accepted this statement with the comment that he had been told this before. He now had a second article for publication concerning Air Force handling of space sightings in the bands of the Pentagon Security Review people. What do you mean? We appreciate there have been many cooks in the kitchen on this dish, and that as a result, the extraordinary non-committal and invasive answer we were instructed to give Davidson was perhaps the only one possible if we were to avoid crossing up previous statements of our own and other involved agencies to this man. But the answer was hardly fair to Davidson and not one likely to be fully accepted by him. What? Wait, is this saying what I think it's saying? Hey, Cabal. Hey, what's up, Cabal? Thanks for the follow. We're going over the third UFO drop right now. Is this saying that this is this the CIA here? Hold on. Yeah, this is the CIA being like, yeah, we had to lie to the guy about the space message that we destroyed because we kept lying to him and we're getting our story crossed up. Because what he's saying here, if we were to avoid crossing up previous statements of our own, which means they're contradicting each other. The government. Yeah, we're looking at cool UFO videos. I don't normally do any sort of like political UFO stuff, and we keep it apolitical, but I am interested in aliens and UFOs. So I'm like, you know what? I want to look at the UFO videos. We do them every time they come out. But what's up, Cabal? That's crazy. Okay, so this is like a CIA document saying that they said that a space message was destroyed. I guess the CIA told this Davidson guy that the antenna and a space message was destroyed. Let's see here. And he'd been told it before. What's happening? Are they lying to him? Reference telephone conversation disclosed that there is nothing in the record to show that Davidson knew he was dealing with the agency in his contacts with Walker and Skakich. That in fact an effort had been made to conceal their CIA identity from him. Reasonably sure that when Davidson talked to us in the Court of Appeals building conference room, he knew very well with whom he was dealing. And in the conversation, your agency, by which he meant the CIA. Ooh, okay. Yeah, Cabal has multiple eyes as an agency of multiple eyes. Coincidence? I think not. All right, so I don't know what's going on here, but apparently they're lying to a guy in the 50s about a space message and crossing up their story to try and make it like they're not part of the CIA. That's a little weird. That's pretty weird. Oh my God. Look at the title of this one. Chat, look at the title of this one. German scientist article on flying discs. Could this be? Oh, let's go. Could this be the bell? It's 1950. 1950 CIA information report from Chile discusses a German scientist article theorizing that flying discs could be explained as a new type of air. Oh, it's not as interesting. Okay. It's not them talking about the specific one. It's talking to them about the concept. Yeah, during and after World War I, interesting, not two, using rotating cylinders or gas turbines to create lift through boundary layer manipulation rather than conventional wings. Interesting. Yeah, that's a bit of wooga right there. What's really cool here is it's after World War I, not two. That's probably a bit informative in the sense that I bet that might be new info. The fact that they were thinking about such things after World War I and not two. Kind of interesting. That's kind of cool. Sightings of unconventional aircraft. 1955. Could it be Warner? I don't think that was Warner. I mean, it was Chile, right? Was Warner in Chile? I'm not sure. Yeah, a lot of these are old. What if it's all a psyop from a US adversary? That all could be. I don't think they had the tech to psyop the US back then, though. I guess the Germans might have, but a lot of the stuff, I mean, right? Like, the problem you run into is nowadays you can excuse things by saying drones, but back then you couldn't, right? So if they're talking about, like, UFO encounters in the 50s and having footage and stuff like that, it's a lot harder to fake that back then, right? This is in Azerbaijan. And this is U.S. Nationals eyewitness account. Yeah, it's just an eyewitness account, triangle aircraft. Those happen. What is really scary is how consistent they are, right? Where it's like, and you could think whatever you want about this, but it is interesting that what people are talking about seeing in the 50s is what we have video of now. And it's like tic-tac shapes and triangle shapes and orb shapes. They're like, yeah, it was an orb. And then now it's like, here's the orb. It's like, well, okay. Yeah, 50s in South America could be a little sketchy, to be fair. Yeah. Or could you? Alien clockwork German drones. Yeah, what if it's the Germans? That's the funniest answer, right? The funniest answer is if all of this was actually the Germans. And you're like, damn, wow, that really happened, didn't it? Current status of unidentified flying objects project in 1953. Including ongoing intelligence operations, Canada's establishment of a laboratory. That's pretty cool. All the stuff they said didn't exist, did exist. Yep, they're just talking about like overview of what they have going on there. Speculative paper by Kardashev and Sakharov. Those sound familiar. Those names. Charge Mash in Space, a conference on origins of life. Armenia, 1971. Low scientific level of other Soviet papers. Oh, okay. This is probably just informative, where it's like it tells you something about other Soviet papers. Unknown flying objects observed over Budapest in 57. No photos, no videos, but it wouldn't back then. The videos are later on in the pages for sure. The Sari Shagan weapons testing range. Sounds Soviet? What's this? Oh, just, yes, Soviet testing range. Okay. I don't know how that stuff makes it in here. How is this UAP? Combating fatigue in crew members. Yeah. Discussion about UFO. Ooh, okay, hold on, wait. Discussions about UFO phenomena with a Soviet radiation biologist. I was just talking with a dude. Probably not too revealing. MiG prototypes, maybe. Some of this stuff could be MiG prototypes, to be fair, yeah. Because that did surprise the US back then when they came out with the MiG and they were like, oh, wow, that's kind of good, huh? British activity in the field of unidentified flying objects. What are the British up to, I wonder? Memo on the activity the British were taking to identify UFOs. The RAF field. Ooh, the memo references a UFO sighting at an RAF field seen by high officials and RAF pilots. Let's take a look at this one, because if that could be like an experimental aircraft for sure. But I wonder if it's like a flying saucer. Yeah, we're getting tranched on stream today, Pirate. Yeah, because I didn't get a chance to because I was away. But I don't want to spend all of tomorrow doing it, so I'd rather do it now at the end. No. See. During the show... Ooh, wait. Look at this. This is weird. In some RAF field, there was some sort of demonstration to which high officials of the RAF in London had been invited. During the show, a perfect flying saucer was seen by these officials as well as RAF pilots. So many people saw it that many articles appeared in the public press. This is disturbing to Jones because he realizes the creation of the correction of public opinion is a part of his responsibilities. Huh. I wonder if they were flying around something they got up and running from World War II, or if that they mistook a, some sort of theoretical early prototype plane for a flying saucer. Because it was at an air show. So you would be like, yeah, I mean, most likely. But that's kind of weird. Got Blue Book reports. That's kind of cool. Official record copy has been available, though. Let's keep going. I want to see some vids. Show me the vids. This is Nepal. Any vids here? Oh, no, just pictures of dudes. UFO sightings in the 60s. This is how they always do it. There's always like the earlier stuff, and then they get into the actual videos. Hungary, Hungarian relatives, Australian Department of Defense, UFO problem. None here. Arrow, unresolved case analysis, Western US event. Ooh, okay, this I like to see. Because Arrow is the current one. These are all modern. So this is like with our current technologies, they're not figuring things out. Let's see. An ongoing analysis of a reported incident near a sensitive national security site in the Western US involving unidentified anomalous phenomena. Period of 2 days in 2023. It remains unresolved. Let's take a look. What happened? We got nice modern text. Look at that. Beautiful. Incident summary. Over a period of 2 days, 6 federal law enforcement special agents reported observing orbs launching other orbs near a sensitive national security site in the Western US at approximately dusk. And this is what was said about the New Jersey stuff too, back in like 25 and 24. The most distinctive reported feature was the repeating nature of their pattern of behavior, in which a luminous orange mother orb appeared to produce smaller red orbs one after another. That's exactly how it goes down in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, by the way. So there are some questions as to, did Steven Spielberg just guess correctly, or was that sort of thing part of UFO lore even back then when that was made? The reporters described the orange mother orbs as appearing for 1 or 2 seconds, releasing a cluster, and disappearing afterwards. Okay, so that's weird. Not drone-like behavior to disappear out of nowhere, just like de-apparate. Persisted for seconds before disappearing. The agents described the red orb as remaining stationary above a ridgeline for several hours. They described it as silent. The agents provided consistent accounts using similar language to characterize their experience and the apparent behavior of both the red and orange orbs. Yeah, the orbs, they were just a pregnant orb. It was just having orb babies. True. Why didn't they take pictures? They said they just didn't, but as a standard analytic practice, Arrow considers the influence of such limitations when assessing narrative description. Yeah, unresolved. Kind of neat. Cool, weird stuff. Weird strangeness, right? That's a lot of UFO stuff, is just the high strangeness. Like, what's that? Who knows? Spielberg's pulling a Tom Clancy. The government's calling him like, how did you know? Well, so the lore back at like a lot of people. Now I want to clarify my stance on all this for everybody. I like aliens and UFOs. I think this is like a real phenomenon. I'm interested in it, but I'm not super wahoo about it. I think a lot of things are either our stuff or like repeating of lore. So I'm going to describe things that like people in the wider community might believe, but I necessarily don't. And one of those things I've talked about before is there are a lot of people who think that Spielberg was kind of in the know on something because of how accurate Close Encounters of the Third Kind was. So like the joke about like the government calling him and stuff, people do think that. People do think like maybe Spielberg knows something and that's why he's making all these movies. Or maybe he encountered something, or maybe he saw something, or maybe he was convinced that it was real some way. He's definitely a believer at the very least. He believes in the stuff. The call goes the other way. Spielberg gets the call from the government. That's kind of what they were saying. Yeah, oh, there was an interview about Disclosure Day. Yeah, tell me, Mint. I missed it. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I want to. I definitely... Ooh. Yeah, link me. I'll take a look. This is the notational representation of the incidents. Okay, so this is just saying where things were. Let's see here. Narrative statements. Yeah, narrative statements aren't too interesting to me here because they are just people saying stuff. Even like it's all good evidence though. Like I do think when 6 special agents see something, they probably saw something, right? That's always interesting. But they also not too impactful to just look at, right? All you can do is be like, wow, they said that thing happened. Whoa, that's crazy. And then move on. Did you ever look into missing rocket scientists? Amy Eskridge is a wild final interview. A Gamma. Oh, are you talking about the like all the scientists dying recently or missing scientists, rocket scientists? I don't know if I've heard that much about that, but I'd love to hear about it. I love me a good conspiracy, you know? I like knowing about them. Like, I feel like I'm a conspiracy researcher. Like, I like knowing, even if I don't believe them, I like knowing what conspiracies are out there. It's just fun to like think about like what people believe. It's fun. It's like a conspiracy of conspiracies, or a researcher of conspiracies, where it's like I just like knowing them all. I like collecting them and being like, oh, you ever heard of this one? Like some people think this really crazy thing, right? That's why it was so fun. My favorite one so far that I learned about was the one we did where we learned about reverse hollow Earth. That was the coolest one so far. That was so funny. Incredible. For those who might have missed that, who might have come in later, reverse hollow Earth was the idea that it's hollow Earth, but we're on the inside. And apparently some Germans actually believed this pre-World War II, and they tried to point a telescope at the sky to spy on the UK. Because they thought the UK was going to be at the other part, like in the sky of the inner crust of the inner hollow Earth. Which is really funny because the UK and Germany are not that far apart. But they did try to do that. They pointed a telescope to spy in the UK in the sky because they thought it was wrapped around, which was really funny. Yeah, the thought experiment itself is fun. Yeah, and I just like knowing because like it's fun to reference them, right? So it's fun to know about all of them. So you're never blindsided. Like anytime it comes up, you're like, I know that one. It's really fun. That's why I like hearing about them. They're always exciting. I love all of the like food is going to kill you conspiracies. Oh yeah, well those are always, I love debunking those because that's like actually my area of somewhat expertise, right? So I like debunking the nutrition related conspiracies. But I did like the ones recently where they would be like fruit are different now. Right? Those were funny. All right, let's see. Flying disc from the Chief of Naval Operations. Yep, just reports, 1948 reports. Hopefully there's more videos in this one. I know it was a smaller trench, but hopefully there are more. Yeah, like the fake fruit thing. That was fun, yeah. More analysis. Checklist, unidentified flying objects. It contains details about the incident. Oh, wow. Just a checklist. Nothing too crazy here. A lot of analysis in this one. This seems to be like the analysis one. I don't think they're done, though. I think they said there were going to be more of them. Let's see. Bean-shaped phenomena. There are just 4 videos. Okay, we've seen 2 or 3. This might not be a very good one then, which makes... I thought it was going to be a little less interesting, which is why I saved it for like the end here rather than make a whole stream about it. But I did want to look at them at the very least in case there's something in here. And we did see the Battelle Labs thing, so that was worth it. And we did see the... what's it called? The weird space message story, which is pretty cool. So it's definitely worth it. I'd like to look more into those. Good info, at least. And this is just all Northeast United States 2024. These might be the Jersey things, is my guess. Newark field office. Yeah. Although this is 67 in New York, so not that then. UFO sightings, public correspondence, various UFO groups, all that stuff. Everyone's talking. But again, overall, what's really interesting here is there's a lot more going on looking at the UFOs from the government's perspective than we ever were told was true. It used to be like, the government never did anything. And now we're seeing all of this like, oh yeah, it did. This is an artistic representation. This isn't real, by the way. The 2 days, October. This must be the same ones that they saw in Colorado in 2023. Some artistic renderings. Kind of cool. Looks like a camera smudge on that one, though. But it's an artistic rendering, so whatevs, you know? Yeah, no. All right, what do we got here? Digital rendering. Ooh, spooky. No, it's guys. Yeah, it's just dudes hanging out, looking at an orb. I wish I was hanging out looking at an orb. We got to go UFO hunting. That's one of the things I really want to do with IRL streaming is like go to the desert and do it. I want to do specifically what I want to do. And I had this idea, right? Like we talked about going to Appalachia and like cryptid hunting and stuff. And we talked about going to Skinwalker Ranch. I want to go to Sedona, Arizona and go out in the desert and stream looking for UFOs. Because that is one place that people have talked a lot about there being stuff. I also want to go to like Roswell and like Alamogordo, like all the old testing sites and stuff like that. It could be awesome to stream from there. Oh, Orb on the Road's kind of spooky. 2023. Looks like a Bob Gimlin photo. This looks like something Bob Gimlin would put in his videos about Sasquatch. Yeah, all digital rendering. Triangle orbs. Ooh, videos. Okay, let's go. Lock in. We got triangle orb videos from 2021. 5 a.m. Northeastern US. A lot of Northeastern US. Guess I'm in a hot spot. Love to see it. Okay. Ooh, yeah, that's a little weird, huh? That could be a drone. Let me enhance here. The only problem is when I do this, only the center of the screen you guys will be able to see. This was you? Yeah, this one was me, actually. I am going a little trip. Yeah, we should do the Sclimbo S4 infiltration live stream. We should do the Sclimbo, the Sclimbo S4, yeah, infiltration go crazy. Oh yeah, that's a little bizarre. Is that showing up on screen or is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Cool. I can like move it up a little bit. I mean, it's tough because with things like these, it is weird, but this late in the game, you just don't know if it's a drone or not. You know? Like, you got to see some really weird stuff to be like, all right, it's not a drone. It's just too far away. It's not descript enough. Unless it does something really weird and, like, starts spawning other ones, right? Live on camera. It's like, I mean, it could just be a drone. They're really good and they're really fast and they maneuver well. So, hard to say. Red orb rotation. Oh, here's a red orb. Spooky. Kind of at the bottom of the screen here. Very obvious. What's it up to? Kind of doing stuff. Oh, all right. Well, splits into two. Hey, that's something. That's something right there. Might be two drones, but it's something. Two is something. Skip ahead. Does it do anything else weird? Does the shape change significantly? It's kind of just rotating. It is so weird though, because you start wondering, right? Like, if these are UFOs, what are they up to? Like, what are they actually doing? All they do in all of these reports, like, the reason this is so strange is all they do is they show up out of nowhere and then they hang out for like 20 minutes and disappear, right? Or like they hover somewhere for like 45. It's really weird. They're just like hanging out and then they're gone. Hey, what's up, some on the YouTube side? Alamogordo has nothing in it, but the Space Museum is pretty cool. It has a dome IMAX screen. Yeah, one of the reasons I want to go there is I heard it's a really good dark sky zone for like looking at the galaxy. So, and it's also like, there's a lot of history in Alamogordo, so it's kind of cool. If it were a meteor burning up upon entry, it probably wouldn't hang out there. No? Exactly what our ISR drones do. Yeah, true. It's just like, it's weird. It feels weird, mysterious. Earth is cosmic rest stop. Could be. There's a good shot of that, I think. Trying to see if we're finally civilized people or not. Yep. This is the third drop. It's not very big, though. There's not much in this one. Oh, we do have some more Gemini stuff, though. Very nice. We got more Apollo and Gemini stuff. Yeah. All right. Last page is astronaut stuff. We love it. Yeah, I think they probably observe like Brazil. I think it's like the most likely answer. Most likely one. What do we got here? Astronaut scientific debriefings. Investigating the nature of the luminous phenomena reported by astronauts John Glenn and Walter Schirra during spaceflight. Those are probably the eye flashes that we've seen many, many times. Is probably what they are. Let's see. These are just historically really cool because they're Gemini and Apollo documents. Which is just always awesome to see more of because space cool. I want to see if these are the eye flashes that we've kind of figured out at this point. I'm going to try to use it over one eye so I was night adapted. Stick the way it's stuck. Count the stars. Sky really comes out in night and you can see a million stars. That's what it looked like. Didn't look like any more than that. Huh. Typewriter looking papers, yeah. Why do you think we only communicate with your livestock? Fair. Transmission through the glass, the atmosphere. That's something you people can check? The Magellanic Clouds? No. Andromeda? No. Yeah, I guess they're talking about some sort of sting they saw. Moonlight did bother your ability to see faint areas. There's something probably in here that's kind of interesting, but I'm not going to read through the whole thing here. Hey, what's up, Fish Gone Fishing? Hope you've gone fishing. Preliminary Gemini 4 crew debriefing. Yep. Ed White recounts seeing sparkles during the flight. We've kind of figured out what those are, though. Yeah, One-Eye Night adaptation mentioned. So just to catch everybody up, there's this thing in a lot of the Apollo and Gemini documents about them talking about flashes of light in space. And it turns out, it seems to be it's a radiation thing where you see like inner eye flashes when you get hit by space radiation. And they kind of figured that one out. But a lot of these and the previous documents were talking about that, where they're like, oh, visual sightings. Yeah, it's these weird flashes. And here is Gemini 4 experiment. First American spacewalk. Yep, bright particles outside the spacecraft. Yep, that's probably that. That's probably that. Just to hand wave it away a little bit. Hey, what's up, Matthew? What's going on? How you been? Technical debriefing. Gemini 7 debriefing. Interesting. Sightings of Mercury. Anomalies. All that cool stuff. Wait, what did they say about stars? They also discuss not being able to see any stars once the sun comes up. Huh. Wait, what do they mean come up? Wait, hold on. Am I being stupid? What do they mean sun comes up when they're in space? wait. Somebody call Polly. Polly! Somebody call Polybius right now. Drinking. Hold on, let me drink. What do they mean by sun come up? From behind the Earth? Yeah, they must mean from behind the Earth is probably what they mean. Yeah, it's like occluded by the Earth. Yeah, it's when Princess Celestia raises the sun. Yeah, it must be because it's behind the Earth. Yeah, that's right, because they're going towards moon side at this point, right? So it depends on, I guess, time of year, but that is funny. That is really funny. Gemini 9. Makes sense because water reflection. Yeah, it is weird that, yeah, I guess you can't see the stars at that point. The transcription of a debriefing. Flashing lights. Yeah, it's the same thing. All of these are about the flashing lights. Ooh, wait, this is heat right here. Walter Cronkite interviews Gordon Cooper. Cronkite asks Cooper about his views regarding the nature of unidentified flying objects. A large number of exceptionally well-qualified people have seen objects without a logical explanation. Speculates on the existence of other planets with a livable atmosphere. Maybe there's some type of human life out there. In the 60s. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's already a public thing, I think. Because it's an interview with Walter Cronkite. So, like, I'm sure you can find that. And that's already out there, you know? Let's see. Yep, they had described the anomaly such as a flash. Yeah, they're talking about the flash again. But this is cool. It's like audio of the astronauts we've never heard before.
The regolith did not seem as loosely compacted.
Which is really cool if you're into that sort of thing, just like going through that, right? Congressional White House UFO-related constituent correspondence 98. What is this? Correspondence from the White House and the offices of members of Congress responding to constituent inquiries about UFOs. The inquiries cover a diverse range of topics, UFO sightings, so on and so forth. Improper withholding of information by the U.S. government. This is like Congress being like, hey, we're getting, all of our people keep calling us about UFOs. The 90s were a really big time for UFOs. I really think I would have loved to be a UFO guy in the 90s. The vibe of it's incredible, right? You have like the new, everyone's using computers now. They're starting to look at space signals and stuff, like SETI's up and running. And like, you got all the cool analog technology and you're looking into like space and aliens and stuff. Like 1990s UFO conspiracy theorist, like, you know, that sort of vibe is incredible. Such a good aesthetic. Such a good aesthetic. Would have loved it. Yeah, insane vibe. It's X-Files, right? It's just X-Files. But it's like, that's the coolest vibe ever. So, big love. With ATS and BBSs. Oh, yeah. Wait, ATS I know a website. Wait, is ATS above top secret? Because I know BBS is, right? That's like BBS servers and stuff like that, right? Or like the bulletin boards. But is ATS above top secret? Because that's above top secret. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. This is deep lore. There is a website. I didn't know it was that old, but there's a website called Above Top Secret. And it was like the OG conspiracy website. I used to look at it in like 2008. And it was like everything was on there. They have like different sections. It's probably still up, but they have like different sections for like politic conspiracies, UFO conspiracies, like cryptid conspiracies. And it was just like this like turnpike, like internet turnpike bulletin board for every conspiracy ever. Really cool website. I used to read that all the time. One of my fondest childhood memories was laying on the floorboard of our Geo Metro during a road trip watching sightings on my new handheld portable TV. Yo, that's so cool. Oh, man. Yeah, really cool. It was so great. Is it still around? I don't want to like open it up because I'm sure it's like as poisoned as the rest of the internet right now. So if I go on it, it's just going to blast me with like politics probably. But it was a really good website. It was a really fun website back in the day for like really fringe theories and stuff like that. Like really out there stuff. Still up, but nothing interesting happened. No, come on. Now would be a great time to have that stuff. Now would be an awesome time. I guess it is a forum, to be fair, and people don't really use forums anymore. So yeah, it'd be like that. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here today and get going and working on clipping and stuff like that. I got a meeting in a little bit, nothing too crazy. But thanks for coming by today, everybody. I had a lot of fun. Did our usual stuff. Had a really good chat. We will be back here tomorrow at noon for something. It's a free stream, so I'm not sure yet, but something will happen tomorrow at noon. We will be back. I will see you tomorrow as usual. Let's find somebody to raid and get on out of here. Feels good. It's a really good day. It's a really good day. I'm feeling great today. Energy level's good. Ready to have some snacks and all that goodness. Bada boom, bada bing. And thank you for coming by, everyone. All right, let's see. We should probably raid SVA today. I only have 3 streams this week, so we should probably go SVA. But let's see. For free. Yeah, for free. Who's doing what? Who's chilling? Who's up to some nefarious business? I imagine we got, let's see, we got Ali, we got Yomi. What's Yomi up to? Yomi or Ali? Ali's doing partner. Oh, right. Ali's doing her partner plus push. So if you could support Ali on that, that would be awesome. Let's go Ali. Ali probably just started too. Let's go. Ali's still in just chatting. So I think Ali starts at like, go Ali today. All right. Vesper, thank you for the follow. Welcome. But yeah, we'll go say hi to Ali. Looks like Ali's still in just chatting. Oh, follower goal 4,900. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you for that. We're almost at 5K, everybody. That's big. That's huge. But yeah, Ali's doing partner push right now, which I should maybe think about at some point for partner. Well, I'm partner, but partner plus, which is like a sub thing. But if you're a new sub to Ali, that helps her out a lot right now. Because partner plus, unfortunately, that's what gives us a better cut of subs. But it only works on new subs. It does not work on gifted subs, unfortunately. So you have to sub yourself as a new sub. But regardless, more exposure helps Ali out with it. So let's go over to Ali. Yeah, all the PP. She's partner plus pushing. Yep, exactly. All right, everyone. I will see you tomorrow. Had a fun time today. Got to look at the UFO files. We'll be back for something tomorrow. Look forward to it. Have a good rest of the day. Get your protein, get your rest, and all that goodness. Hey, what's up, Ninja Tiger? What's going on? And I will see you all later. I don't know if Prime subs work. Maybe? Not sure, actually. But I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.